your seatbelt. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
Chrissie is hilarious.
Chrissie, have you ever heard of the comedian Basha K. Ali?
No, that sounds like something you yell at before you blow up a plane.
Basha K. Ali!
30 seconds remaining.
But you know what good thing to say? I doubt it will stand up to something. I haven't been disrespectful to you at all.
I was very confused by the title, Everything Everywhere All at Once, because that's also what we call it when Ash takes off his shirt. I shouldn't be up here. I should be in school on the other side of the ocean. Ooh, welcome to Mayr in the Morning. It's 10:47 a.m. on Tuesday, February 7th. And welcome to this morning stream. We welcome you here at Mayr in the Morning, whether you are a real person or a paid PR bot. A view is a view. Hope everybody is doing good. Wet Spot was crazy last night on Compound Media. If you're not watching that show, I don't know what you're doing with your Mondays. We had two of my besties were on, Zia Anderson and whatever Amy. Zia is gearing up for her new boobs, which she's getting in a couple of months. She told me the day of her new boobs. Zia's boob day, April 10th. Mark your calendars now. It's Easter Monday. Remember how Christ rose the day after Easter, after being crucified? Well, it's going to be like that for Zia, but except she'll have D's. She'll have new tits. Very excited for that. She crowdfunded her boobs. So I don't know if she's going to dedicate certain parts to people. We'll have to just wait and see. We also have we had Dave Satzik on the program and another girl, I think Aaliyah Bryn, who was an adult film star, and we were watching. This is why the booth is so great at Compound. And of course, when it comes to adult content, they're very quick to bring it up. We were watching one of Aaliyah Bryn's films, and well, let's just say she was in a pool, I think probably somewhere. If I were going to guess, I would say Jamaica, but she's in this gorgeous pool. Oh no, it was LA. It was LA. Other reasons made me think it was in Jamaica, but let's just say she's very good at multitasking, that girl. And she was she's a people person, but maybe a people pleaser. It was great. And then I don't know how we got on this topic. Drew pulled up a clip of a man's head going in a woman's cooch, which I was like, ooh, go ahead and watch that, but make sure you've had your coffee first. We like to span a range of topics on Wet Spot. It was so fun. Whatever Amy is actually also writing a book about being a bridesmaid, which I didn't know. She's been in 41 weddings, which is wild. I think I was a bridesmaid twice. Anyway, Wet Spot was great. And a fan sent, I think his name was Adam. Adam, either Jackson or Johnson. Apologies if I fucking can't remember your name. But he sent me this in the mail. My very own podium. Isn't this amazing? Because he was ragging on this podium. That came with my Nancy Pelosi action figure. This was given to me by, wow, it's dusty, Andy Masterson. But then Adam was like, no, I got you, boo. I'll make you a podium. So now I have multiple podiums. But this is firm. This can withstand an insurrection for sure. So shout out to Adam. That's pretty cool, dude. Thanks for making me my very own little podium that I will likely just, I'll start stacking clutter on top of it. That's what's going to happen. Oh, and also shout out to Steven Singer, not yesterday, but the Monday before. I jumped on Anthony Cumia's show, which is before my show on Mondays. Cumia's show is like 4 to 6. And Steven Singer was there, and he gave me one of these roses, which I guess he's selling for Valentine's Day. I don't know. He does them in all different colors. But I've seen, what's it called? When you're driving? Billboards. I've seen billboards for Steven Singer. I guess he's been in business for a while. This is supposedly a real rose, finished in 24 karat gold. We'll see about that. I'm going to melt it down. No, I'm just kidding. But this is cute. I don't know where to put it, though. Maybe Hunter can hold it. Okay. Oops. Ah. All right, stay. I hate Steven Singer. Yeah, that's him. So I actually met the guy. I met the Steven Singer. He was a cool dude. Anybody who gives me stuff is cool. Yes, she would. This is like a wand. It's pretty cool. It's pretty neat. Like, I always thought you need to buy a bunch to do this, but you could just have one by itself in a little thing. Maybe I'll leave it here and do like a Beauty and the Beast situation. Don't fall. Wow, so much has happened. So much has happened. Before I get to some news stories, I'm going to pull up my dates. Getting very exciting, guys. My trip to California is coming up. I'll be in Pasadena with the Lila Hart Thursday, February 23rd. And we'll be at an Elks Lodge. Wow, why do I feel like my nose is itchy? We'll be at the Elks Lodge in Pasadena, February 23rd. That's an 8 o'clock show. Then I'm headlining 2 shows in San Diego, Friday, February 24th, and Saturday, February 25th at the Mic Drop Comedy Club. Lila Hart will be opening for me at all these shows. We're going to have such a great time. Then I'll be in Staten Island, headlining The Reef at Paradise Island, Friday, April 7th. Then I'll be in Morris Plains, New Jersey, Saturday, April 8th at Tiff's Ale House, also known as the Dojo of Comedy. I like that club. They do really strong cosmopolitans there. Woo! And the food is really good too. They do like a really good salad that I always get with like avocado and shit. Now I'm hungry. Okay, then I'll be in Dallas first weekend of May. 2 shows Friday, May 5th. 2 shows Saturday, May 6th at Hyenas. Love this club. My favorite club in Dallas. So excited to get back to Texas. I believe Lila Hart will be opening for me at these shows as well. Then we got Anime Matsuri coming up in August. Simcast will be at Anime Matsuri. The convention is from August 10th through the 13th. I think we'll have a panel. I think we'll have a booth. So come check it out. If you're going to be at this convention, stop by. And I'll also be headlining that weekend. Okay. I'll be headlining this weekend, Friday, August 11th at the Secret Group. So if you're going to be at this convention, just plan on coming to this. It could be like an unofficial after party. Because after the party is the hotel lobby. But if you don't want to hang out at a hotel lobby, just come to the comedy show. Woohoo! What's up, all my PR bots in the chat? CKCC Chris, thanks for the super chat. Watching Tim go full CNN was just classic. It seems he's all about, quote, fighting censorship unless it's someone he helped platform. Very, very funny calling us all paid PR bots. If true, I need my damn paycheck. I'm still catching up on last night's episode from him. You know, and it's funny because I think Tim is under the impression that I have talked shit about him, and I fear that he has somebody close to him maybe being like, "Oh yeah, all these people talked shit about you." I feel like I'm being lumped into a group, you know, which happens. There's a lot of guilty by association, I guess, going on, but like I know Tim's busy and he doesn't have time to like listen to everything I do, but I actually have never shat on him per se. I have to break out the neti pot. I was out last night. I had a couple of drinks. I'm still getting going. You know what I mean? I'm still like waking up, getting my liquids in. But maybe you're right. I understand why he didn't cover it. Everyone's got their rules for covering or not covering stories, and he can do what he wants. This story is not about Tim, by the way. Don't make this about Tim. Let's keep the focus on Eliza, please, because she is the one who is censoring people. She is the one who has possibly defrauded the internet. She is the one who lied about starting a halfway house. So let's not give Tim too much shit. I know you guys are upset and you think it's an important story. I think it's an important story and I understand why people are upset. But you can't make people do anything they don't want to do. So and sometimes I think, oh, is the Eliza Blue story trailing off? Are people not caring anymore? When you look at if you were to Google Eliza Blue, not that much really is coming up. An article from unheard.com. What's the truth about Eliza Blue and does it matter? They called it the first fallen girl boss of 2023. Ugh. We got the Wealth of Geeks. We got a Wealth of Geeks article here. Obviously, the Daily Beast, which was then picked up by Yahoo News, Vizaka. So, not that many outlets are covering it. MSN, a massive attempt at a cover up. Okay, sportskita.com. But it's nothing from Daily Wire. So, we'll see. Shane Cashman's article came out. And I guess Tim was waiting till this article dropped before he responded. Okay. God, this is Gonzo journalism, guys. Cashman, Eliza Bleu, and the Perpetual Trauma Machine. That sounds like a movie title. Or Eliza Bleu and the PR firm. On what we talk about when we talk about abuse, survival, big tech, and unfortunately at this point, all people care about is the censorship and maybe secondarily her lying. How is my fucking coffee cold already? I've taken 3 sips. I made this not that long ago. I'm so annoyed. There's nothing more depressing than drinking cold coffee. Well, probably, being in an earthquake in Syria and collapsing under rubble. That's probably more depressing. But anyway, here is a picture of Eliza. This is part 1 of a multi-part series. Here's Eliza out in the snow. To seem relatable? I don't know. The cold, hard truth. Okay, this article starts with a couple of paragraphs that I don't find to be necessary. Talking about a doomsday clock again. That's kind of irrelevant to Eliza. I'm just gonna scroll to the part where he starts talking about Eliza. In the past few months, I've had this strange opportunity to speak with people at the exact moment when they're trending. Okay, kind of unrelated, but I get it. It's flowery. Blue gained notoriety over the last 3 years as a public advocate for survivors of human trafficking. She also said that she is a survivor of trafficking herself. Blah, blah, blah. She's in articles, podcasts. Her profile exploded when she did a Spaces with Elon. Elon spoke with her directly. She emailed him solutions. Elon didn't ask for the solutions. She just sent them. She was proactive, guys. I mean, she's been proactive about everything she's gone after in her life. I mean, you listen to how she went after the World Star Hip Hop CEO on his personal Instagram. So this is a woman who is not afraid to ask for what she wants, clearly. Elon had liked some of her tweets. She was apparently one of the rare people on Twitter around whom various political factions could rally. Did we see anybody like super liberal? Maybe that Katie Herzog girl who interviewed her. Yeah, okay. I'll say that's fair. She kind of reached across the political aisle as a libertarian herself. And then we learned she's one of those libertarians that has certain feelings about age of consent, which don't really help her case. It was hard to argue against what she was most vocal about. Saving people from the perils of human trafficking. Again, how did she do this? Did she actually save anybody? We've yet to hear anybody, even come up with a fake handle and be like, hey, I don't want to out myself or my story, but Eliza saved me from human trafficking. We haven't heard anybody that she's actually saved or helped yet. Removing CP from Twitter, again, like there's proof that it wasn't necessarily her who did this or that it was even handled at all. And seeking to work with big tech to eliminate the ways in which traffickers exploit the victim. Again, we're just talking about she's claiming to have removed a few hashtags from Twitter, which there's no proof of. It was an easy and righteous cause to support. Again, this is why we all fell for it. No one wanted to question her. She seemed like a nice lady. No, and usually when you're interviewing somebody, you're not like looking for holes in their story. Or at least I wasn't. Okay, so then this is all about her background. Like her first big issue with Twitter was the 13-year-old minor who begged Twitter to remove a video sexually exploiting him. All right, well, maybe this is an example of somebody she helped. And this was actually something that made Twitter look really bad because they said they're not going to take it down because it didn't like go against their rules, right? Okay, if you Google her, there's articles about her in Post Millennial Unheard and Daily Beast. People were pointing out the inconsistencies in her timeline. The thread was damaging, called into question her age. This is all stuff everybody knows at this point. Like, people are going to this article to be like, okay, did you ask her any hard questions? People are not going to this article to read details they already know, but maybe he feels like he's got to set it up for someone who hasn't heard of the story yet. Okay. I talked about all her different last names. See, this would have been the paragraph to bring up Brittany Venti or to bring up Quartering or to bring up any of the accounts that had been censored for retweeting images that were public, right? But there is no mention of anybody that was censored. Internet sleuths found all the times she'd been seen on TV and music videos or modeling campaigns, calling into question her timeline of having been a victim of trafficking. If she's done all these shows, maybe Twitter users said she must be in it only for the fame. Everything seemed like a lie. This initial thread culminated in the internet scouring the internet for as much information as possible to prove that she was in fact a fraud. Eventually, this thread attracted those who were once extremely supportive of Eliza to her case. Larger accounts shared the images from the web, her bare ass, and some questions regarding and again, why are we not mentioning who was censored here? Like, what? Why leave that out if we're doing such a deep dive here? God, I even heard somewhere, and I guess we'll have to see if this is verified, that her parents put up Shane. Her parents, I don't know, either paid for his travel or paid to, I mean, the the property, the farm that Eliza lives on is owned by her father. It's her family's property. It's not her property. And I guess they're still floating her to this day. So it would make sense that her parents would pay for this Shane guy to come out there. I'm missing the chat. I need to get 2 screens so that I can look at the chat and also read a thing. That's my next goal. Redacted for 5. Made this for Brit, but you can has youtube.b/ okay. And then what? You're spelling out a website for me? Super chats don't allow links. Jeremy sucks, but Tim really fucked up in this one. Sorry, I'm yawning. I don't know. I was listening to Tim's post-show chat, and he was saying like he doesn't consider Quartering a friend because why would he make the thumbnails of him with the Jack Murphy beard? Like he feels like, I guess, Quartering has gone back and forth between like me and Tim have no beef and then making videos about him. Well, it's like it's a big story right now. I can understand why Quartering's making videos about this because this is a huge story. It involves censorship. It involves people a lot of us know and work with. So just because you make a video that has Tim's name in it or has his image in it, it's like he's a huge public figure. He's who a lot of people go to for news. So I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think it's a shitty thing to make videos about him and mention him or put him on a thumbnail just for the sake of talking about a story? I mean, people were very much waiting for his response. Maybe he's just someone who doesn't like a lot of attention or heat on him. His Shadow X, thanks for the super chat. Tim's sister Lisa called him a D-bag on her YouTube channel in a short. I have not seen that. The breakdown with Greg Hoyt. Oh, what's up, Greg? I have yet to get my PR firm paycheck, lol. I'm still waiting for mine too, Greg. Yeah, I saw Greg. I think you were in that Twitter space last night. Patrick T, sick. Alex Stein on Eliza. That might be fun. Well, Alex is busy getting his new show together at Blaze. I think I'm going to be doing it soon, like in a couple weeks. Just I'll just going to stream in. It's John Bro. Thanks for the super chat. While I agree that you can't make someone cover a story, he's entirely funded by his audience, the majority of which wanted him to cover it. Why is this FS advocate defending censorship? What do you mean? What does FS mean? Am I stupid to not know what that stands for? I think he was put in an impossible situation. I think he was waiting for more details to come out. But then he ended up waiting too long, so then it got to the point where he was damned if he didn't, damned if he did. So it's like he covered it a little bit and people go, "Oh, you waited too long." But I think he didn't at the time because Cassandra's very good friends with Eliza. So I understand why. That's like a conflict of interest. You don't wanna. And he could also think he's saying that it's just not big enough of a story. It's just not worldly enough, not worth his time. He mentioned, he just wants to focus on like saving the world, making the world a better place. I think he mentioned he's having a few congressmen or senators. Shit, I'll have to go back and listen again. On his show next Wednesday. So maybe he's just focused on like what he thinks are more important subjects. But not me. I love this shit. No. Voice of the people. Hey, Chrissy, how's it feel to be a major component of a PR firm to make Eliza famous? I guess that this PR firm that we all work for is a nonprofit because I'm not seeing a profit. I don't know who specifically is supposed to be part of the PR firm. The content creators or the fans, the viewers? But maybe I need to re-listen to the whole episode to get a better sense of things. What's up, Elsid? Thanks for the super chat. Quartering has said he only has 3 people online who he considers friends: Dank, Bering, and Sydney. Anyone else he considers a friendly acquaintance. That's fair. I mean, he works very closely with Sydney. And that's true. Maybe we all need to reassess like who we consider friends. Like I was dumb. I think did I consider Eliza a friend? No, but like our chats were very friendly. She was definitely talking to me like a friend, and maybe I was, talking to her back like a friend. The bottom line is everyone has to be super verified from now on. John Hancock, Tim is trying to get the focus on Jeremy rather than the real issue. Yeah, it's not about Tim, guys. It is not. It's about Eliza and censorship and what's going to happen going forward. What's up, Ghost Crusaders? You're honorable not throwing Tim under the bus for the vitriol he spewed last night. By the way, do you know when we can cash these checks? Yes, everybody, your PR checks can be cashed. You gotta wait until Wednesday because uh I haven't listened to the episode. I only listened to the post show wrap up. Yeah, I think Tim seemed upset that the time that Quartering was supposed to go on his show, he canceled, I guess, kinda last minute. I don't know if it's because he forgot or fear of travel or what the reason was, but Tim seemed to take issue that he thinks that Quartering then went on a show with me and Brittany to shit on him, which I don't know what show he could be talking about, like, 'cause, he doesn't Quartering doesn't do anything on Sundays. I think at one point I did invite him to come on Simcast. He said he doesn't really do streaming on Sundays. So, I don't know what show they could have been referring to. I'm just a little bummed because I get the feeling that maybe somebody close to Tim said, "Oh, all of them are all shitting on you," and it's like, I'm not really trying to shit on him because people can cover what they want. Big Tim. Tim has thanks for the super chat. Tim has given Q a lot of free promo, and then Q always talks crap about him, but then he says he likes him. He's another fence rider. Oh, you mean Quartering? They're two of the biggest content creators and I think sources for news on the internet. So they can't avoid each other. Redacted. Oh my god, I spelled out the link so you could see it. Yes, I saw that. Maybe like put it in the Discord. I'm trying to think. Or can you just put it in the chat regular? He did say, yeah, they're trying to save the world. And maybe that should be my goal. We all want to change the world. Voice of the people. He calls the people making comments the PR firm. I've noticed the same people here and in Jeremy's and in Venti's chats and in his as well. We are the firm. What would our firm be called? Eliza Bleu PR or oh, what's up, Nina? I haven't gotten paid yet, Chrissy. I'm gonna need to file a missing check. Please get filing cabinet on it. Nina, do you want to jump on? Are you bored? I'm gonna invite you. This would be called the law firm of Cashman Blue. All right, Nina, I will send you the link. No pressures. No pressies. Okay, let's get through this article. All right, I'm going to I know this is a long ass article. I think there's 80,000 words in this article, so I'm trying to just cover the most exciting parts. The initial response is that these larger accounts were suspended. Again, who? Why not mention the larger accounts that were suspended? The narrative switch from has Eliza been lying this whole time to is she using her contacts within Twitter to censor critics? Eliza had said she would die on the hill of free speech, yet a move like this seemed to many like it was not only clear censorship, but also a more sinister insight into how Twitter 2.0, with Elon at the helm, was operating in the same bad faith with favors for friends, was Elon dishing out personal help to keep certain names clean. If she was behind the suspensions, then she was an outright hypocrite. A lot of us were worried how sharing something in the digital public square, something that seemed publicly available, could result in a suspension and or ban. The anti-establishment minded on Twitter, who had been reluctantly rejoicing as Elon acquired the platform, were now having flashbacks to Jack Dorsey's Twitter. Okay. I wonder, it seems like he's keeping his own opinions out of this, but maybe that's his job. His job is to do a journalism and not be like, okay, here's my gut feeling, or here's what I think. He's just sort of collecting facts. From the Quad Cities, blah, blah, blah. They met once previously on Timcast, where she was like, I love you, Shane. Your work is so important. I feel like you're like Andy Warhol. Like she was kissing his ass. This was only a month ago. A month ago today, she was on Timcast. Oh, yeah. She began the episode by reading statements from women who claimed to be victims of Andrew Tate, but then, like, at the same time would get cagey when she was asked questions about it. So it's like, well, maybe don't bring it up if you don't want to answer questions. I told her live on the show that I was suspicious of the Me Too movement. Yeah. Her and Tim were critical of her. They were asking critical questions like, well, what do you do if you don't believe somebody? It was absurd to see the court of public opinion to be swayed so easily by just a few accusations with zero proof. Okay. I had just left Ye's place in LA. Wait, what? Why is he talking about Kanye West? Before she and I had met in person, our first official interaction happened in a group chat between Ye, Eliza, and myself. What? How did Kanye West get in the mix here? Did I miss something? I had just left Ye's place in LA. Oh my God, how fancy. He and I spent the weekend discussing, among other things, the shape of his campaign for president. One topic that he kept coming back to was human trafficking. Eliza's name popped into my head when I was in the airport, so I asked for her permission to send her contact to Ye. She obliged, and then Ye started the group chat. Wow. I wonder if he sent Kanye West her World Star Hip Hop video. And I wonder if, like, every time they open up the group chat, this song plays. That's gonna be my ringtone. I'm gonna put this ringtone on for Eliza's phone number. I mean, not like she would ever talk to me again. She's probably blocked my number at this point, but it was the way that Eliza responded to the initial text from Ye that gave me pause to go full tilt into accusing her of operating solely out of fame. Wow, okay, this is like maybe the first critical thing he said. I still didn't know her personally at all, nor did I expect the recent accusations. But I think it's worth sharing this despite it being a private interaction. Ye says, Eliza, I got your number from Shane. Let's all stop pornography and sex trafficking. I don't think Eliza wants to stop pornography. Starting with Twitter, Eliza responds, the actual freedom of all people is the most important fight. No public stunt, by the way, and I'm not going to ask for funding or anything. I do everything on my own with an old ass iPhone and God. Oh, really? Oh. E and yay. All right. This is Eliza clearly trying to appeal to Kanye's religious aspects, like his Christianity, right? Kanye's big into God. So now this is when Eliza suddenly is very big into God. It was discussed on Timcast. I would write a profile on her. I agreed to do it. She shared it. She shared it publicly. This is another thing that gives people pause, the fact that she shared it. She has been sharing the other articles about her. And now those that reject her story are using those posts as retroactive proof that I should not be taken seriously as a journalist. And I understand the concern. Twitter users started reposting tweets of me saying nice things about Eliza from about a month prior to the writing of this article, to the clip of me condemning her work and telling her I'm a fan, which was no different than what anyone on most other podcasts had done. But I also had, yeah, but Shane, this was like a long time ago. A lot of us had her on like years ago, whereas you guys had her on 1 month ago. But I also had a lot of questions. However, I try to extend some grace and patience to those who've been attacked by a mob. All right, that's fair. This is a small collection of some of the criticisms that I received as I prepared to profile Eliza. This is a litmus test for Shane Cashman. He's a knob-gobbling fluffer. The internet is watching. Shane is a clown. He is a fluffer boy. This will destroy his career. He has no integrity. He's cringe as fuck. He's got a hard-on for any woman who love bombs him because he's never experienced this amount of love. Oh, that's not fair to say. He shouldn't talk to grifters. All of Twitter is watching. He's unprofessional. He's a fiction writer. I don't see the point of putting this in the article unless you're trying to set up, like, you want the audience to feel bad for you because people have come hard for you. Like, I would say if I were writing this, I would keep it on the focus. Fair enough. I like to say this. I seek to tell in-depth stories to the best of my ability. I have many of the same questions you might have, and I report at the pace that suits the answers I collect. So he goes as fast as he wants to, guys. You know, not gonna let something like timeliness affect how quick you put something out. I try not to peddle knee-jerk reactions. I do not participate in the human centipede of tweet. We're reporting. I am not here to fulfill the needs of the algorithm. I do not perform for trends, nor do I perform for the insatiable. I trust my readers will afford me the patience and grace I need to make sense of this story. The accusations are serious. A person's life story, which included traumatic accounts, has been called into question. Outside of that, the world of human trafficking is clearly a disturbing, horrific reality. I must tread with caution. Now I feel, and exactly this is why a lot of people haven't been talking about this, because nobody wants to say, oh, you're lying about your abuse or whatever. Now I feel the need to share another private conversation because it seems relevant to the reporting of this story. By the night that Eliza and I were both on IRL, I had also been in talks with Andrew Tate to write a profile on him. I'd spoken with him directly in the days leading up to his arrest in Romania. For those that don't know, he has been accused of human trafficking. Okay, I was like, what does this have to do specifically with Eliza? Hold on, I'm missing some of your supers. I'm just gonna star them so they don't scroll away from me. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Such a vibrant thing. Okay. Wow, you guys are chatting more than usual today. Appreciate it. Okay. Back to the story. Okay. Andrew, he'd been talking to Andrew Tate. Okay, perhaps saying this to you now will kill the potential for that story, which I'd still like to write, but it's important for me to say that I would afford Tate the same amount of patience and grace. Who cares? Like, I don't see how Andrew Tate is relevant to Eliza at this point. Like, he's relevant to her in the very, like, as of a month ago when she was like, I am now speaking for these Andrew Tate survivors, but Andrew Tate was not in the picture like years and years ago, which is what people are starting to be critical of. But maybe he feels like he's got to bail himself out a little bit. I don't know either of them. After the thread about Eliza's life went viral, her timeline didn't make sense to me either. Wow. I'm sorry I'm yawning. I think it's because I didn't work out this morning. There seemed like major gaps in her story. I'm sure I wasn't alone in having this nightmarish thought experiment. On one hand, I would have preferred she was lying because from the bits of her own story she had shared, I'd rather not want that to happen to anybody. On the other hand, if she was lying, I'd feel personally let down. This is how we all feel right now. I don't believe it should erase the advocacy I've seen her do on Twitter. Yeah, it shouldn't erase all of her important retweeting work. You know, Eliza's done a lot of Twitter work that I don't think we should disregard. Twitter work. But it would make it extremely challenging to take her more seriously moving forward. No matter what, it's challenging to take her seriously moving forward. It doesn't matter what else comes out about her. That's the thing, is Eliza had 11 days to address her fans and followers and people and acquaintances. She sat on her ass for 11 days. That would have been her time to say, I was trafficked by World Star Hip Hop. This is the name of my trafficker. This is why I haven't come out with any of this information. But instead she says, I can't for legal reasons, but then doesn't say what those legal reasons are. All signs, in my opinion, are pointing to she's full of shit and she's trying to like charm her way out. She's trying to use her her different connections and relationships to do damage control right now. Even as I personally struggle with who does and doesn't deserve redemption. And I believe Eliza does deserve redemption if she, I don't know, hits her head on something and suddenly realizes she should be honest. If she were to do a live stream today, I'd be like, all right, if she's totally honest about and goes through all the things that people have issues with, like, all right, then let's take it from there. Let's turn a new page. But she's not doing that. If she was exposed as merely a fame whore, I wouldn't be surprised. No real insult to Eliza, but the internet is filled with them. So another joining the ranks wouldn't be the slightest bit shocking. I think what I and most others probably found most egregious, aside from the supposed power she had within Twitter, is that there was a possibility of Eliza really could have propped up victims to gain fame and money. But again, the current economy deals in the currency of victimhood. We're all numb to the grift. Okay, and now, as we were supposedly on the edge of clear annihilation, according to some grim-faced scientists, I had Eliza on the phone who didn't seem as anxious as I felt. I don't see how this is relevant. I had questions. Also, like, she's a master manipulator. Of course, she's not going to seem anxious. She probably had her whole phone call with him, like, written out in advance, what she was going to say to him. I had questions, as she promised I could ask anything. It seems like I was flying to Illinois to interrogate someone about either the darkest lies someone could tell or the darkest experiences someone could go through. My goal was to establish a timeline in Eliza's words, because we can trust those now, right, guys? And then cross-reference that with the timeline that is featured in the thread that went viral. Either Eliza's built an elaborate story for profit, or she was telling the truth and we got the whole thing wrong. Neither seemed to be the easy answer. My distrust points in all directions. Either she was the Jussie Smollett of anti-establishment Twitter, or somehow all of anti-establishment Twitter had become the Jussie Smollett of victim blaming. Yeah, okay, it's our fault. Yeah, okay. All of us got it wrong. Even me, somebody who wanted to believe her and had her on the show 4 fucking times. Sure, let me be the Jussie Smollett of victim blaming. Okay. Eliza picked me up in her father's car, and we drove to the world's largest truck stop, Iowa 80, a 24-hour truck utopia. Oh, can we not use this word? The word utopia is ruined for me. I don't know about you guys, but Eliza has ruined the word utopia. Because I just imagine a bunch of priests, rabbis, teachers deciding when underage kids can have sex, because that's, if you watch the Liberty Lockdown episode, she talks about that. As a restaurant, bottomless supply of cowboy hats. She seemed oddly positive because she was a sex worker. That's like saying, wow, that stripper was really charming. Of course she's going to be positive. She's trying to charm you, Shane. She wore a heavy black Tesla winter coat. Where is she getting Tesla coats from? What the fuck? Like, well, gee, I don't know. I don't know if we can prove that she got a free Tesla. This to me is even more of a smoking gun. Like, anybody can buy a Tesla, but can anybody get a Tesla coat? I think that's just for insiders, dude. Or maybe he put this detail in there so that we could come to that conclusion. If this girl's tearing around in a Tesla coat, you know what I mean? We can't buy a Tesla coat. Who knows? Maybe it came in the trunk of the Tesla car. Maybe the car came with a lot of other merch. I don't know. It'd be funny if he was like, she took off the coat to reveal Tesla lingerie. Really, I thought of all the coats this woman could wear, of all days, she chose a Tesla coat. Oh, look at that. That's funny. It was 7 degrees, and she said it was her only warm coat. Yeah, okay. I later asked how she got it. All my Tesla gear was given to me by a friend. He worked for Tesla. We have known each other for 2 years before all this happened. What? Okay. I should talk to Gary about this because Gary used to work for Nerdrotic. Let me ask if Gary ever got a Tesla coat. My old winter coat was finished. I pulled out the Tesla coat this year because it's what I have. Again, she's trying to make it seem like, oh, she's so broke. Meanwhile, she lives in her dad's house on a huge property with a farm. Clearly, he's letting her use his cars, like still floating her. So I'm not buying the whole like, oh, I don't have anything. She was looking at her phone, reading an email. The Babylon Bee had notified her that they canceled an event that they had planned to do together. Oh, no. I didn't know about this. Does anybody know about the Babylon Bee event? Yeah, she still can't afford Wi-Fi. Where was the Babylon Bee event supposed to be? And does anybody know when it was supposed to be? Interesting, though. Okay, so wow. That's interesting. She's already getting canceled from events. It's heartbreaking, she said. I needed my Christian brothers. I'm so pissed that they would cancel. Oh, please. Blow it out your ass, Eliza. You're so Christian. Okay. You're Christian when you need to be. She had a slightly darker tone in her voice than she had since the last time we spoke. Well, I guess I'm the guy that talks to the people the rest of society rejects. Oh my God, you're such a martyr, Eliza. You're so Christ-like. You know who also talked to society's rejects? Jesus. And I think she knows that. I think she's saying that for a reason. In a sense, that's you right now on Twitter. Ugh. Ugh. Wow. So much self-sacrifice coming from Eliza Bleu. She really just cares about everybody else. There was mostly small talk on the way to get food. We discussed her childhood, being homeschooled, how she and her family, including her younger sister, had moved from Quad Cities to Denver and back. They were eating together. Sheen was alerted by colleagues via text that some people have announced her father's personal address, both home and office, and were claiming to be on their way to film the location. I was going to be staying at her parents' house for the duration of my visit. Are you reading Twitter? I asked, referring to the barrage of comments about her life, all the images. Everyone who'd done anything with her had been getting tagged and everything too. Friends are telling me that my silence is making everything worse, she said. Right now, people don't want to hear anything from me. There's literally nothing I could say. What could I say? There's so much you could say, Eliza. Nothing I will do will appease everybody. Why? Because you know that we're right? I can't be too mean. I can't be too nice. So many people have had their minds made up. I don't know. If I feel like I'm misunderstood on the internet, I fucking can't shut up about it. That's just me. I don't like being misunderstood. Even if it's clunky, even if I put out a video and no one sees it, it's like I personally don't like to be misunderstood. So it feels strange that Eliza's almost like, what are you going to do? Like, it's almost like she's okay with it. Like, why are you not fighting for your life, for your reputation? Like everything depends on it. And she doesn't seem to want to fight right now. That's true, I said, wondering how the fuck I was going to navigate this story. I was hesitant even to ask her about this. I would either be exposing her total lie or perhaps I would be making her relive some deeply troubled trauma. Again, you don't become a public figure whose whole shtick is sex trafficking if you're not willing to also sign up for reliving your own story. Okay. The waitress brought us our. What did you order, Shane? Tell me what you guys ordered. She got the French onion soup, and I got minestrone. I asked how she defined human trafficking: force, fraud, or coercion. Again, you can just read off a website definition because that's kind of what Eliza says: force, fraud, or coercion for the sale or of labor or sex. Anyone under the age of 18 engaging in any commercial sexual activity for goods, services, or money is a victim of human trafficking. She rattled it off quickly. Yeah, because it's her elevator pitch. Under 18, she said, is automatically a victim if they're engaging in commercial sex. That's not a question. There's no gray area. I met him when I was 15. Where? A concert? Out here? Who was he? A photographer. Can you name him? I can't. Why? Legal reasons. Well, that's a wrap, guys. Time to get back on the plane and head home. We're going to come back to that, I said. I knew she wasn't going to name names. She said so much to me on Timcast, and I had insisted multiple times that naming names would be one of the best ways to clear her own, and it would allow me and other journalists to do more digging. The lack of this transparency doesn't help. Why don't you explain what the legal reasons are then, Eliza, if you can't name the name? Why did you leave for LA? Once I had my permit, I was out of here. No, we know for a fact that her mother drove her to LA the first time. Was this a relationship with the older guy? He groomed me. Groomed me how? Yeah. How did he groom you pre-social media? How did he groom you in, 1996? 1998 or something like that? 15, 17 years old, pre-social media? What is he writing letters to you? Finding out my vulnerabilities. What would make me leave my family and come out to LA? But how was he communicating with you? Was he calling you on the phone? He knew exactly what to say. I was probably the easiest mark they ever had. Again, like anyone can say this, right? Anyone can Google like what makes a victim. Tell us how y'all were talking. Was he talking sexually with you as well? No. It was all about the dream world, the opportunities. But how was he telling you about these opportunities, Eliza? Again, letters, phone calls, promises of a career. 15 when I met him, 17 when I moved to LA. Yeah, but she went and visited before she moved to LA. Her mother drove her out there. How did you pull that shit? It sounds like it was going to be an opportunity for the daughter. How'd you get to LA? My dad moved me out there. But that first trip, Eliza, your mother drove you out there. But I think she's avoiding that. She could probably tell, but I was watching for any body language and eye movement that would seem like she's conjuring up a fiction. I had made a plan to ask her the same questions repeatedly over the next few days. Eliza said she moved to LA when she was 17. Her parents set her up with an apartment. Must be nice. And within 2 days was trafficked. This is where I guess I get some of the story messed up, I said. Is there a switch in the guy at this moment? The photographer introduces me to the musician. I asked for names again. She refused. Okay. Are the photographer and musician together? Are they a team? Do you think I know that? She said with some hostility. Okay. You would know their relationship if one is introducing you to the other. Sounds like a lie. Sounds like she wants to avoid this question. Immediately. It happened within 48 hours of moving to LA. She said she recognized the musician the moment she met him. This is West Hollywood we're talking about, she said. I had just been to Hollywood, and it seemed like the kind of city where dreams and nightmares coexist. Again, this is all like her fucking one-woman show monologue. She distracts from personal questions, transactional questions, details about her life by talking about like general themes of abuse and taking advantage of somebody. She's very good at this. I went over to the musician's place. I don't remember if he came and picked me up, but I'm sure he probably did. We went over there, hanging out, had some beer. That's when everything went downhill. He handed me something to smoke. Apparently, she smoked crystal meth right away. How can you be, even if you're homeschooled, like, how can you be this stupid to think that if someone's giving you drugs, that means all your dreams are going to come true? Ugh. Like, wouldn't your mother, the dean, and your father, the politician, be able to explain this to you? I don't know. And the fact that she didn't tell her boyfriend at the time about any of this abuse or trafficking is very suspect because she was dating the same guy basically from 95 to 04. Exactly. Yeah. How did they communicate? If she was 15 or 16 years old at the time, that placed the communication in 1996. There was no media, no social media at this time. There were no sock accounts. There was no Snapchat. There was no back pages. Like, again, if you communicated through what, fucking Craigslist? Could you say that? That is something I hope Shane answers or asks her here is how the fuck were they in touch before she moved? And then how were they in touch after she moved? Let's say she's in LA. Okay, Was it phones at this point? Was it texting? Like, give us some details, yo. Did you feel any sense of dread being away from your family? I was in the dream world, blah, blah, blah. Again, this is all so easy for her to say. I didn't even know the world was evil. I was a sheltered, homeschooled girl with a shaved head. No, her head wasn't shaved then. It was just short, like pixie cut. You didn't learn about evil from church? I asked. Understood that her father went to seminary school. I did not understand what evil was until LA. Then why wouldn't she like immediately move back home or ask for help? Look, here's her in front of her family's barn to make her look wholesome and relatable. Is it working yet, guys? Was that your first relationship? I asked. No. Was he violent? He wasn't violent. But I'm kind of grateful I was drinking and on drugs. At the time, I was really thin because I was modeling, so I didn't have any meat on my bones. A little alcohol really messed me up. I was a lightweight. Oh, and one day he basically told me, "I'm gonna sell you for drugs." I was in the room when he brokered the deal. He called the guy. I don't know if it was planned out in advance or whatever. I don't know. I'm assuming this is a thing they did. Then why didn't you all right, did you not have a phone on you, Eliza? No, it was 96. I mean, I didn't have a cell phone till 2004. Like, what's the earliest someone could have had a cell phone? I think if you're moving to LA, you should probably try to have a cell phone if they're available, right? And your parents are floating you anyway. You could ask them to pay for a cell phone. Like, and if she had a cell phone, why wouldn't she have immediately called 911 or the cops at that point? And you considered this a relationship? I probably would have thought that, but I wasn't used to having male relationships. But she had a boyfriend at the time. She had a boyfriend, the guy who took her virginity in what, 95? She actually was 15. He was 14 at the time that he took her virginity. So she currently had a boyfriend at the time that she is saying that all this is going on. So this sounds like a lie. Did sex come into place before all this? It was clear that there was no choice. The thing is, like, I hadn't come from that. That wasn't a part of my lifestyle. But see, her boyfriend at the time took her virginity at 15. Her boyfriend at the time was 14. So she had already, unless this is like before that, when he called the buyer, were you thinking anything like, what the fuck is this phone call? No, I was just told we needed more drugs. So we're going to sell you. And I was like, holy shit, I'm a child prostitute. I was embarrassed. I knew immediately. I would never tell anyone about this. I don't know. I think if you're that young and you have something traumatic like this happen to you, you're going to tell somebody. The musician dropped her off at a house in West Hollywood Hills. Can you describe this man, the buyer? Old, fat, ugly guy. I could probably recreate pieces of his room. It's weird what your brain remembers. Oh, yeah, it's so weird when your brain selectively doesn't remember shit that would make you sound legitimate. His bed was red, not blood red. He had a red blanket. It was a really nice place. There were multiple people there. All right, guys. Old man with a red blanket. You know what to do, internet. Were they there for you too? Not for me. They came and went. Lots of drugs and alcohol. How long were you there? I can't say. Maybe days, a week. Were you on drugs? I asked. Thank God. Yes. It was not a pleasant experience. It was scary. I don't know what particularly happened, but I think I started to kick a little bit. I think I became a problem. I wasn't eating. I wasn't drinking. I believe I had an overdose, and that saved my life. This happens because this happens sometimes with victims. I was left for dead, but I survived. I thought it was my fault. I woke up in Cedars-Sinai, no friends out there. The nurse treating me told me she treated Kurt Cobain once and that he and I have the same eyes. He died a few years earlier. That moment eventually would keep me sober. Oh, come on. This is like a one-woman show. Maybe she's just gassing me up to make me feel better, but it gave me confidence. Why would that give you confidence comparing you to somebody who also did a lot of drugs and died early? How did you get back home? Man, this girl lives for name dropping. She fucking lives for it. How did you get back home? My parents bought a plane ticket. Somehow they knew. They knew because your mother drove you out there. She doesn't know anything else about it. When my dad dropped me off in LA, I think I had blonde hair. And when I arrived back here, I had jet black hair. Everything I brought home was in a trash bag. My parents didn't recognize me. Yeah, because I think it's because you dyed your hair black to fit in with the My Chemical Romance crew, right? The people that really hate you are demanding these details, I said. As no one hates Eliza. I think people just feel disappointed and hurt in her lies. Hate is a strong word. Um, okay. It's like gore porn, Eliza said, referring to the gruesome details that many are saying they need to hear from her to believe any trafficking took place. Really? Gore porn? Just by naming the guy's name? I don't think that's too ridiculous. They're hitting me up, wanting to know if my vagina is ripped. Yeah, right. Let's see the screenshot of someone asking this, and then I'll believe you. A part of me hopes you are lying because I want none of this to be true. She went back to recalling what she could of the overdose. Everybody's got stuff that's happened to them, she said. I was lying in bed last night thinking about all of this. I'm just so grateful I'm still alive. So, like, it is bad. Yes. But, like, bro, think about how much life I've had since then. I'm so grateful. Again, she's like literally trying to distract and make it about something else. Like, I did so much dope shit. I think she felt like she had to say something positive because my face was as grim as the scientist. Why does he keep bringing up the doomsday clock? So, do you remember anything leading up to or after the overdose? I asked. I guess it started in the buyer's house, and then they dropped me in the musician's hallway. I'm surprised they even called anyone. They were probably like, "We aren't going to deal with this dead girl." I don't believe a word of this. A lot of people who've been looking into your past are asking themselves how this could happen to a daughter of a politician. It looks like she had a nice family. That's the most disgusting insult, she said. You can be a survivor and be other things, like rich. You can have a family. She doesn't have her own family. She is the daughter of someone. She doesn't have kids. She's not married. Like most people have parents that they came from. A lot of survivors I know are married, have kids. It's not like you're a survivor and that's all you are. Oh my God. That's not what people are saying. People are saying that you came from money. So they're trying to figure out like you're not the typical survivor that does things, makes poor choices for money. I could be fully in trauma, probably on disability, just rotting away, still off the LA experience. That's why I'm like, at this point, I don't care what people say. Listen to what I survived. That's crazy. Again, like this is so general. She is like distracting from the point, from the question that he's asking. Like, why didn't you reach out to your parents at any point during this time? She mentioned how anyone from any status with any type of family can fall victim to trafficking. Later, she told me she thinks the buyer dyed her hair black to make her look like a boy. I don't know. I think boys still have blonde hair, so I'm not buying this either. I think that's what they were into, she said. She said that she believes that there were trans kids in that house as well. Were you sold multiple times? I asked. My first trafficking experience was short, she said. Just that one time. What was it like when you got home? I asked. I forgot how to write. I had to learn how to write again. English was another language. I was so fucked up that I didn't know how to order food at a restaurant. What? I don't believe this. I was so fucked up that I stayed sober for 8.5 years just because I was terrified. I was so fucked up that I never told anyone and promised myself I would never tell anyone because I was so traumatized. I was so fucked up that I've been trying to remember how I got to the airport. I don't know if the trafficker drove me, if a police officer drove me, if I drove my own car. I can't believe I'm alive after that. The drug overdose didn't kill me. The traffickers didn't kill me. The sex abuse didn't kill me. That was also the time when HIV was still making its rounds pretty heavily. But during that time, it would have been a big concern. The fact that I survived and it didn't come out with HIV, I can't believe it. She had no mental strength after she got home. I'm sorry, none of this is like making me feel anything. And I'm somebody who cries like over almost nothing. Like I cry at movies. You're not supposed to cry. None of this is like pulling at my heartstrings. Sorry, Eliza. The story's making him feel sick. Okay. When I'm talking to other survivors, we laugh, we joke. Again, she's making it about someone else now. She's distracting from her. She came back to the Quad Cities after LA. I detoxed here. I was a mess. I don't remember going to the airport, blah, blah, blah. Her parents picked me up from the same airport that Eliza picked me up from. She spent more than a week in bed. She wasn't talking, hardly eating. Yeah, I heard from her ex-boyfriend that either when she was in LA or got back from LA that she was supposedly she told him that she was taking these weight loss pills that supposedly had tapeworms in them. This is what she was telling her boyfriend at the time, that she was like that you could actually take a pill with a tapeworm in it and it would open up and you'd have a fucking tapeworm, and that's how she's claimed that she was getting thin at around this LA time. That sounds a little cray. I don't know if such a thing even exists. I gotta call that boyfriend again, that ex-boyfriend. Maybe get some more things on the record, because I know he didn't want to have a lot of stuff on the record. Let's go to the super chats. American Badger, thanks for the super chat. I think Tim is 100% wrong, but I watched Jeremy's videos and streams, and even before the EB stuff, he has seemed resentful of Tim. Huh. I have not gotten that vibe. Always ready. Thanks for the super chat. So the Eliza Bleu PR firm is my third favorite conspiracy theory, right behind flat earth and the holographic universe theory. Yeah, I feel like there's going to be some memes because of that. Matthew Hammond, thanks for the super chat. Tim does not care about Eliza. No one is going to be happy with whatever response he has. The PR thing sounded like bots amplifying the story. Yeah, I agree with this. I agree that he doesn't care about her and he's not concerned with the story that much. What's up, Daniel Clancy? Thanks for the super chat. I didn't expect or care if Tim covered it. I just found the way that he chose to quite insulting, though. I'm no PR agent. I just want the truth. We all do. Yeah. And Daniel's someone who you've like interacted with Eliza. You were like very friendly with her and shared a lot of your story with her. MK Solid, thanks for the super chat. What's your opinion of Long Island today? Love it, hate it, indifferent. It was a nice place to grow up. It was a nice place to grow up. It was I don't know, it was expensive. I got the feeling from my parents growing up that like everything was really expensive. Like we lived in a small house um in Rockville Center. So I always got the feeling that we had like just squeaked into the neighborhood basically. My mother's grandfather built the house that we grew up in. So it was actually the first house on that street. Um, I like Long Island. Yeah, I think it's it's a slice of kind of like, I think, real America in that it's a lot of cops, a lot of teachers, firemen. There's a lot of people who never leave Long Island because like their parents are there, they have kids, they stay, they get a cabana at Malibu Beach. Like it's a whole thing. It's a bit incestuous, but I'm sure a lot of other communities are like that. I like Long Island. I don't feel particularly motivated to, other than, performing at like Governors or something. I'm not really going to go back and visit because all my family moved out of there. But I think it's nice. Scareth, thanks for the super chat. In case no one's asked yet, Frost Blue cosplay duet when? Oh my god. Diane Geis, is it Geis or Geese? Thanks for the super chat. I think Eliza's Tate victims are fake and she was grifting for real victims to contact her. I agree. A friend of mine told me that she was in touch with some of the Andrew Tate survivors, and my friend told me that Eliza reached out to her to get the victim's information because Eliza claimed to my friend that she was working with the FBI. So once my friend gave her the contact info for these victims, she later on asked the victims, like, hey, did Eliza ever get in contact with you? And they said no. So that's a pretty suspect detail right there. West Britannicus, thanks for the super chat. I can't believe you're working for a PR firm trying to make Eliza Bleu famous. Timble had never even heard of her last night until a month ago. Diane, again, thanks for the super chat. Cashman's writing reminds me of a Kamala word salad. Aha. I had not read anything Shane had done until this. Oh, I shouldn't have opened that window. Now I'm cold. All right, let me wow. This chat is active today. You guys are fired up. I love it. But yeah, she used to take tapeworm pills. Or so her ex-boyfriend says. Voice of the people, old man, red blanket, red bed, multiple people there. Hugh Hefner. Oh, right. Or what's his face? That other guy that was in LA. Fuck. The guy who gave Jennifer Lawrence her career. His name escapes me. He's like gonna go to jail, I think, for a while. Jacob McQuaid, Crowder, DW, Poole think that they embody the movement. Benjamin Mauser, thanks for the super chat. Jeremy did make some jerkish thumbnails of Tim and messaged him to expose her. That's why he blocked him. The situation sucks, but I can see why Tim sees everyone chatting at him as a PR stunt. I can understand that too. It's probably frustrating to get so much negative attention. Russell Hall, how big was your toilet? Sorry, yard. What? You crazy, Russell. Okay. Okay. Okay, I guess Shane had arranged to speak with her parents and thought I'd ask how they dealt with that. Whether or not you, reader, are believing Eliza, perhaps she put herself in a bad situation. Perhaps you don't believe she was trafficked and sold for sex and drugs. But even if the overdose is the only thing that's real, her parents then would have seen a destroyed version of their young daughter, and I had a hard time putting myself in their shoes without putting up a fight to prevent her return to LA. My kids are young, and I know that parents went through hell when I was 17, 18, 19. Nothing could have stopped me then, too, despite all the nightmares waiting for me with open arms. I shared my concern about how and why she would return to LA. I'm sitting here like, this is like literally so textbook, she said. Oh, how convenient. Her story's so textbook. What you're witnessing is full textbook abuse. After the first attacking, trafficking. I came home. When I went back to LA, I called him. He would not talk to me. The musician, I asked? Yes, he wouldn't talk to me. He just told me to go to AA. Okay, so is this Gerard Way? What other musician was she hanging around when she was, 15, 16, 17? Why would you go back to him? I don't know. That's crazy. I didn't want to miss the opportunity. What was the opportunity? Being a rock star. That's why I came out there. I wanted to be a model. So wait, did you want to be a rock star or a model or both? So you won't name names. Can you say it's a famous person? I asked. There are people involved in my story that are very high profile. Maybe they aren't a household name, but I think if and when it all comes out, people will be like, oh, wow. You go back to him and see him after the phone call, I asked. I didn't see him physically. I just called him. Did you go to AA? I went to AA in Chinatown. I believed it was on a Monday. The meeting itself was called Chinatown. It was in West Hollywood. I thought I had been a child prostitute, she said. Is that what you considered yourself? Until I was in my 30s, I didn't even know about trafficking. That wasn't in my language at all. My first advocate is the one who told me she believed I had been trafficked once I told her my story. I had no language. I thought I was the one that was committing crimes. At the time, I thought, oh, I'm an addict. I wasn't thinking about the trafficking. I was just thinking, I just have a drug and alcohol problem. I remember I tried to tell my first AA sponsor what happened with the guys in LA. It was still on my spirit. It was still in my heart. I was very young. Did the man in LA who sold you get in trouble? I don't know. And I haven't looked. I almost thought about looking right before you came out here, but I can't. What keeps you from looking? I asked. Why go back? She said, well, if you don't want to go back, Eliza, you shouldn't become an advocate because you're going to be constantly asked questions. Wouldn't you find some type of solace knowing he was in jail? Or I don't think he's alive. Oh, okay. Conveniently, he's dead now. Great. But you could be out there preventing others from getting hurt by them if he's still alive. Ugh. This is so bullshitty to me, her whole story. The LA stuff is in the past. Stop asking me questions about LA. Sometimes there are provisions where if it's like over 10 years, simply accusing someone with no evidence, it would not end well for me. Yeah, I think this is like one of the first true things I've heard her say. If you accuse someone with no evidence, it would not end well for me. And when I say no evidence, I mean like no evidence. Like I have no evidence for this first story. Okay. So it would like literally be the most he said, she said. No one's going to be like, you know what? Yep, she's right. And this is why, folks, she has not named her traffickers. She has no evidence. And it would be, she could get in trouble. Maybe that's what she means when she says legal reasons, that she could legally get so screwed over if she were to name like a Gerard Way or some photographer. Because they could probably sue her and being like, no, bitch, no one trafficked you. You know, when people read this and they don't trust you, they will say you are making this shit up. I said, most of this is going to run off faith in me as a writer, but on you too. I could lie to you right now and say he's so-and-so. I could lie to you right now and say he's dead. You literally just said he might be dead. I could lie to you right now and say he's in jail, she said. It would have been more advantageous for me to lie. Oh my God. Projection much? It would have sounded better if I could lie, but I told you the truth. I'm telling you the truth. I know what the haters are going to say, but I'm telling you the truth. My God, why does she have to say it so many times? Is it because she's lying? I think people not hearing a name means that you must be keeping things vague to keep the story straight. The problem is sometimes when you let things fester, you start drinking, doing drugs, getting into abusive relationship. Again, she is distracting from the point. I'm going to work in the shadows. She's obviously keeping it vague for a reason. Okay, and then they talk about the piece that Daily Wire did about her, COVID lockdown. Again, now she's very comfortable talking about things that are not about her and her timeline and her details. Oh, is this recently? Did Amanda Prestigiacomo recently comment about Eliza? Is this true? Let me see if I can pull up her Twitter. What is her handle? Amanda Presto. Has she tweeted about this recently? No. I look at Amanda Presto's tweets and replies. I don't see anything since 2020. And I'm looking at her tweets. Maybe I have to follow her to see them. Weird. I can't really see her tweets. Okay. Well. Eliza came to me during the pandemic, was serious, worried about abuse trafficking. Her concern was always with others. She had so much knowledge about how to address this vital issue, otherwise largely ignored. I asked her to include her name and photo because I thought it would bring more attention to the issue, and it did. I don't regret asking her to do so. She's one of the fiercest fighters I know. I'm told she's now being targeted personally, right as she's helping Elon fight child exploitation on Twitter. Strange timing. This was Prestigiacomo's previously tweeted about this, her decision to use her name. Okay. Eliza and Prestigiacomo also direct message each other about the conversation. These are screenshot from the conversation. You didn't even want to tell your story. You wanted to help others and get out as much info as possible. You didn't want to make it about you, right? Because her details are shady. I thought your name and face would help bring more attention. I've literally told everyone from day one that I wanted to be famous. My parents knew that when I was a little girl. She said she's already seen levels of fame, I believed, referencing her past doing hair and makeup with bands like My Chemical Romance and covers for Spin Magazine, something we will get into later in the conversation. I want people to remember this, she told me. If you look through my history, I've never had trouble hanging around famous people. When I became a survivor advocate, I had a fully popping Instagram. Like, that was just sitting there once I got back control of it. I wish I had a fully popping Instagram. I believe she's referencing her relationship to Gerard Way, the singer of My Chemical Romance, as well as how her Instagram was stolen from her years later, well after her relationship with Gerard. A lot of people are seeing you in various videos looking happy or calling your mom to see how proud she is of you being in a music video. Are these things proof that you are only doing it for the fame? What do you think people are missing about you? Well, number one, I don't think people understand human trafficking. Even though you can just Google it. Again, she's distracting from the question at hand here. Yeah, she's like literally not addressing it. But the other piece that they don't understand is abuse or abuse situations. Like, quite frankly, you, Shane, could be my trafficker, or I could be your trafficker. We're at a truck stop, and we could be going somewhere and looking like we're having a lovely conversation. And you and I could leave here and get in the car. Like, again, she's distracting with hypothetical situations. He is asking her to talk about this video of her to her mom about being proud of being in a music video, and now she is distracting and talking about how trafficking can happen. Then he asks her about the clip of the Michael Malice podcast where you seem to give this definition of trafficking as though it's just catfishing. No, she said, that case is very nuanced, and I should have never brought it up on his program because, in retrospect, that's beyond what this is what she does. When she's called out on some bullshit, she's like, oh, well, the general population can't comprehend this. We're all too stupid to understand how trafficking really works, guys. But I can try my best to unpack it right now. Her former abuser had access to her Instagram. I did not always have access to it. He had a lot of accounts in my name. Yeah, that's called catfishing. That's called just stolen identity. I mean, I have fake Instagram accounts that people make of me, fake Twitter accounts. It's very common. His goal was to make money wherever he thought he could make money, and hustle was where he was like. So, like, literally in the beginning of that Malice interview, I gave an actual definition of what trafficking is. I go over the whole thing. Yeah, but then I just feel like she goes into this whole Instagram, Twitter profile thing, and that's where she can't keep track of her shit. She's still lying about the accounts she was using as a yes. This is what I've always thought. She's lying about the accounts, using it as a cover for her other Twitter and Instagram accounts. Abso-fucking-lutely, Breezen. I agree with you. 100%. Jerk off Juggernaut. At all this time, I thought I was working in the telecom industry, but apparently I got paid by a PR firm. Seems like I'm due some back pay. Yeah, me too, dude. All of us are due the back pay from the PR place. Apache. Wait, is she implying that she got with the MCR crowd in the mid-90s? MCR didn't form until 2000 because of 9/11. Gerard Way worked in comics and cartoons before then. Interesting. Yeah. I think the My Chemical Romance thing didn't start till what, 2004, 2005, after she was already.
They weren't even a band until 2003.
They weren't a band till 2003. So yeah. Oh, hi, Muffin. Oh, hi, Muffin. Hello. It's Muffin. Muffin, hi. Hi, Muffin. Hi. Davina thinks My Chemical Romance started in 2001. All right, we could fact check that. Muffin. Don't take my sock. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. All these old accounts. Again, I think these are just her. She's had so many different names, right? I think it's possible she had a different account for every different version of her personality. And again, like, she can say, "Oh, I contacted Jack Dorsey. He wouldn't pull." Is Jack Dorsey really gonna come out with his screenshots from his alleged conversation with Eliza? No, I don't think, he's not. He's just so big that it's like there's no way to get proof of this conversation with Jack Dorsey and her. So she can just say anything, I think. Um she said the abuser made it so that her Twitter would redirect to her Instagram, which he had control of. Again, like, that's still just online accounts. That's not trafficking. Sometimes I still find dating profiles of me. I didn't set those dating. Bullshit. Of course you set them up. You were doing sex work. You were literally escorting. You literally asked a friend of yours to get into escorting with you. You said Carly Wenzel could make $500. So obviously there's something nefarious going on. Oh my God, she's so full of it. So with Twitter, there was no way to report human trafficking. It's like she creates an excuse. She's got a buffer for any possible thing that could come out about her. That's what she's doing. There are people rejoicing. Who could that be? There are people rejoicing now in how many Twitter followers you're losing. I could lose thousands of followers. I don't care, she said. I could have 5 followers on Twitter. I don't care. It's just Twitter. It could all go away tomorrow. Yeah, okay. I love Elon Musk, but we weren't friends previously. It's not that I wouldn't be. It's just that we really just met on Twitter Spaces. We've never met in person. He's so busy that there isn't time to become friends, even if he desired a friendship. Same goes for trust and safety, Ella Irwin. We met on Spaces, but we haven't met in person. Yeah, you don't need to meet in person to like literally censor people on your behalf. We got confirmation the address had been doxed. I don't like that, but again, like, this information is all public. Someone doesn't need to dox it for you to find it. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they come to the house while you're here, she said, but the way the laws are, they can't loiter. I had arranged to talk with her parents in the morning. I wanted to hear their side of everything that Eliza had told me that night. Eliza drove up the long, narrow country road back to her house, which she had told me her parents let her live in. Must be nice. I felt like I was standing on the moon. It seemed as though I was the farthest I could possibly be in the United States from the tech giants. Even still, Twitter was very much present in the vast and cold fields in nowhere, Illinois. It felt as though all of the internet was an anvil or a satellite orbiting close above, monitoring my every move. Wow, what a beautiful piece. Very flowery. Very like artistically written, I guess. BYB podcast. Keep exposing this story. Good work, team. Oh boy. What do we think, guys? Yeah, I think I need to talk with the ex-boyfriend again. Cause he don't believe any of this story. If I could turn back time. Do you guys still care about the Eliza story? F's in the chat if you still care about the Eliza story. Oh, it's cold in here. Hold on. I really desperately need more coffee. So I'm gonna get up for a second. Or maybe I can have someone make some for me. Thanks, filing cabinet. Wow. This is my internet cord that I pay for. I should really tape it up to something. Whatever. Do we like the straight hair? I got this blown out on Saturday, and I'm still making it last. Amazing. F's. All right, I see a couple F's in the chat. Yeah, I'm trying not to go over all the old stuff that everybody knows, but if new stuff comes up, that's important to cover. So, I mean, she was already canceled from one speaking event. That is very interesting. I wonder if she'll get canceled from any more speaking events. Gripped cast. Contact HR for W-9 paperwork for Eliza Bleu PR. That's true. They owe me money. Yeah, exactly. Kelly, that's how I feel. Address the censorship. But she can't, because addressing the censorship means that she flew off the handle and is trying to do damage control on her public persona. But why would we need to do damage control on the public persona, Eliza, if you were being honest, right? Thank you so much. I'm like desperate for coffee today. I use K-cups. I'm thinking about like dabbling in a French press or something. Because sometimes I just want a whole pot of coffee and just drink it all day. I watched the member segment. I'm still a member. I watched it. I am simping for coffee. Tim made a couple good points that are understandable, but Jeremy ain't an unreasonable man. He could have messaged him back. I think he just felt like he was being, I think he just didn't like the negative attention. And think about it, like he's got it's the thousands of subscribers. So like imagine thousands of people coming after you. That's gotta suck.
Do you want to look over Tim's ending last night?
His ending?
Did you finish the article?
I did finish the article.
I tweeted to NBC.
Oh, Ashton Birdie's calling me. Should I answer her live on the phone?
Yeah.
Ashton Birdie, you're live on Mayor in the Morning. Hello.
Oh my gosh, I always call you at the wrong times. Okay, I guess this is perfect for the show, though. Did you watch Tim Pool's meltdown over a...
Oh, good shirt, Nina. I did not watch the full episode, but I did watch most of the members episode, which I think was like, 23 minutes or something?
Here's the thing. I think the funniest part of it was, I think Tim Pool's just sick of hearing her name. She's been on the show twice, at this point.
Yeah, I think so.
Part
I think he wants to move on.
Right, he wants to move on. But the part that got me was when Tim Pool said when people started bringing up Jack Murphy, and Tim was like, nobody knows who Jack Murphy is. And it's like, dude, you had the guy on the show like at least once a week for over a year.
He was on 17 times, I believe.
He said the same thing about Eliza.
Quite a bit, Chrissy. And it was funny because I was living at Tim Pool's house when he just kept coming over. And I remember Luke saying, Tim, Jack Murphy, there's something off about. Luke Radowski said this, by the way. He said, there's something off about Jack Murphy. Like, I don't know what it is. He just, the way he talks about government, he seems very wishy-washy. He seems to make too many excuses for the government and their policies. And, Luke's a true anarchist, but even I got a weird vibe from Jack. I only talked to him a couple times.
I met Jack in person. I went to one of his bro brunches in Nashville. It was while I was there for a medical freedom conference. It was like the same weekend I met Yellow Flash and hung out with Anna. But I liked Jack Murphy like as a kind of friend or hang. Like he felt like a fun hang. Maybe that's like what he is better suited to be. Like that's the thing, is that's what's kind of a shame, is like he could have been just a personality guy. It's because he really dug his heels in on certain like values, and that conflicted with, I guess, this the liminal order thing.
Well, if you like change your values, nobody. If you just came on and say, you know what, I changed my whole thing.
Yeah.
I'm a different person now. People are willing to forgive. It's how he reacted to things.
Right.
It's how Eliza Bleu, and I want to give Eliza Bleu the benefit of the doubt. I still don't think she's lying about her what she went through. I don't want to ever discredit someone's story. It's the fact she's censoring a lot of people that bug me. And, I for a long time did consider her a friend, but when you're just shutting people off and censoring people, and then of course, there's the whole thing where, like, I gave her contacts and she's saying she's helping these people, but then the people I gave her contact with tell me they've never even talked to
Okay,
her,
so
but it's just going
Ashton, you're now saying this, which means I can
Okay, yeah,
put your
yeah.
because I've mentioned this, but I haven't said your name because I didn't know if you
Yeah.
wanted me to say that it was you. But so you were
Yeah.
speaking with these Andrew Tate victims. How did you get in touch with Andrew Tate victims? Because you were telling me that Eliza asked you for their contact info, which seems kind of sussy.
Right. So what happened was it was funny because I was trying to tell Eliza Bleu about this for a few years now, because I was talking to these people back in 2020 because I have a friend who was personally, sexually assaulted by Andrew Tate, and she went to his house and she saw these things happen and she got these different contacts, and I ended up getting in touch with them through another mutual, and what happened was we sort of just all started talking. I just started talking to people over time, and I was talking about this publicly, and then more girls started to reach out to me because nobody else was really talking about this. It wasn't like blowing up or anything, but like when you're too scared to say something about your sexual assault and you see this random blonde girl on Twitter saying, yo, this guy's sketchy, you're going to reach out to her, I guess. But these few women were talking to me about this, telling me their stories, and I sort of just I guess they found comfort in talking to me. And we built a friendship over time. And I was trying to tell Eliza Bleu, you have all these connections. You could, talk to, personal investigators about this and maybe get their contact info. And she definitely said she would think about it, but she was just so busy at the moment. And I was like, okay, understandable. You have a lot on your plate. And eventually she reached out to Ashton, with everything going on, I have someone interested in investigating this Andrew Tate thing. I would love to talk to the people that you're friends with. I was like, great. Send whatever contact info you can. So I got Eliza Bleu's contact. I got her sheriff friend, and I gave it to the girls. And then I was like, oh, do you mind if I give you these girls' contact information if they give you permission, just in case? And she said, absolutely. I'll email them, message them, whatever. I was like, great. So I gave them their Twitter information. I gave them their phone numbers. The girls who gave me permission, of course, not all of them. And, some time went by, and then all of this drama blew up, but I wasn't going to really, dip my toes into it because, anything I know about internet drama is that it's just, you never actually know what someone went through or is going through. So I tried not to really pay too much attention to it. But then Brittany got booted off Twitter. Flash got booted off Twitter. All these people, Camelot got booted off Twitter. I was like, okay, maybe she really doesn't want to talk about it. But if she's, a human trafficking advocate, she should be used to talking about her story by now. But I'm not going to give her the benefit of the doubt. I'm not going to assume anything. And then just out of curiosity, I reached out to her saying, hey, Eliza, did you ever, because she was going on podcasts saying that she was talking to some Andrew Tate victims. And I was like, hey, Eliza, did you ever get a hold of my girls? Did you ever talk to them? And I got no answer from her because I guess she's not messaging people back on Twitter or whatever, which is understandable. It's a very, I guess, rough time for her. But I was still kind of curious. So I reached out to the girls like, hey, did Eliza ever get to you? Did you ever talk to Eliza? And the girls just straight up told me they never heard from her.
Damn.
And now I'm kind of like, what the hell is going on? Because, and then I went back to look at some of the interviews, some of the ones that you sent me. And she apparently said on Tim Pool episode that she knew about the Andrew Tate thing for about a year now. And I was just kind of annoyed by that statement because I'm like, wait a minute, if you knew about the Andrew Tate thing for about a year now, where were you when me and Lauren were saying this stuff publicly and we were getting just derailed on the internet? You didn't stand up for us. You didn't say anything. I was telling you about this in the DMs, and you never publicly said anything. but now you're on Tim Pool saying you've known about this for a year and you're helping these victims. Well, you're not helping the victims that I got you in contact with, and I'm sure maybe she's talking to other victims. I don't know.
Right.
But it's just a little weird, the timing of everything.
Mm-hmm. It is weird. It sounds very sus. It's nuts that she would ask you for contact info for girls and then never reach out to them.
Right, exactly. I'm just kind of like, I'm still going to try to give her the benefit of the doubt, but I just, I would like some answers to what happened.
Yeah, same. That's how we all feel. I'm going to Nina just jumped on and I'm being so rude by not even acknowledging Nina Infinity. But Ashton, thank you for calling. I'll call you back after the show is over because I'm sure you didn't call just to talk to the live stream.
Chrissy, love you.
Okay, love you. Bye. Okay. She always calls me when I'm live.
Hey.
Hi, Nina.
Hi. Your shirt finally arrived.
Oh my God.
I'm finally rooting for Putin as well, but I haven't worn
Wow,
that one yet.
that's ballsy.
I know. I think I'm the only girl that's ever bought that shirt. I'm so excited to wear it,
Probably.
but I need the right occasion for that one.
From Evil Dead Hefe, Ashton, how did you escape a cult? Name someone besides Baked Alaska. I've had Ashton on so many times, like I've gotten her whole spiel. So we can always go back and reference that.
Can I just say something about Tim Pool?
Yes.
I came on here to go on a rant. First of all, I haven't gotten a fucking check. Okay, like I don't know what he's talking about.
We all work for this PR firm, apparently.
Like, is it filing cabinet? Like, who do I go to get a check? Because this is bullshit. Now, okay, this is what I have a problem with Tim Pool because I didn't care that he had her on. Like, I don't care. You're gonna have on guests. People have on guests all the time that you don't know who it is. He has a big show. It's not his
Right.
he's a personality. He's there to do a show. He's probably told we know he has a booker, Cassandra, that books his guests or whatever. Like, sometimes you're not gonna have like the best people on. Whatever. It is what it is, It's the same thing with you. I mean, especially I wouldn't because you're such a smaller show, I wouldn't be like, oh, have you like gone and done a background check on every single guest that you do and like vetted their entire life stories? Like, no. Not this week. Next week, I'm having a girl on. I've forgotten her name even. The one that got fired from that gaming thing. You just had a stream with her.
Carolyn. She is such a sweetheart.
I'm gonna have her on in like not this week, next week. And I barely know anything about her. So what, like in a few months, if it comes out that she's like, something that, people are going to come jump on me because I didn't do an entire life story background check on her. Well, she doesn't, claim she's an advocate or something. But the point is that when it came to the time when Tim Pool started addressing the situation, he starts by saying, for some reason, people are obsessed with her now. She's a third-tier internet personality, and for some reason,
wow, I must be like 5th tier then, or 6th tier.
For some fucking random reason, everybody's obsessed with her now. What is that reason, Tim? What is the reason? The reason is because she's getting people fucking deplatformed off Twitter based off simple questions. Stuff that this Sean person that you were just reading the fucking article about should have been asking her about, didn't even mention the regular
Cashman.
accounts.
Yeah, he didn't mention the names of the people who were censored. Just said that they were big accounts, and they actually weren't all big accounts.
No, there was a lot of very small accounts, actually. Like cumulatively, there was more small accounts than like massive accounts because the two biggest accounts was Britney and basically Quartering. Yeah. And you,
Flash.
but like
Flash is pretty.
Yeah. But I mean, other than that, like there's a lot
I just got
blocked.
I just got blocked by Eliza.
You never got actually
I didn't think
suspended.
to post any screenshots. No, because I saw Venti's tweet, saw that she was suspended over it, and I was like, I didn't even say anything crazy. I think I said Eliza Brittany Venti didn't do anything wrong. Yeah, posting public screenshots is not non-consensual unless you were trafficked to the desert and World Star Hip Hop forced you to twerk in the desert. Like you weren't. How is this non-consensual? Fenty didn't do anything wrong. I hope Eliza can see that. Immediate block. No message, no text, nothing. Just
Right.
like I'm scum.
Yeah,
like
you
I'm
didn't get censored,
like I'm a PR bot.
You're a PR bot. You didn't get censored, but the point is that this is a lot of people did, and this is how it started. It started because Britney got censored, and the fact that he went off about whatever reason and that this is all a fake thing, and I'm like, well, if it starts as a fake thing and this third tier personality is being propped up according to you, you're the one that propped her up. Like no one knew her until she was on your show, because even all the smaller shows that had her on, like you, Chrissy, or Hotep, or anybody else, even Adam Krigler, they knew her because of you, like because they saw her on
and
your
it's
show.
also not like a few of us. It's been a couple years since we've had her on. But he had her on literally 1 month ago today. So this is very recent.
It's insane.
And it's almost like you're not acknowledging your own, like how big you are. If you're like, I don't understand why people, I mean, just about any guest of Tim's show, people are going to know and notice. And
like even me, like I don't watch Tim Pool's show, but I mean, I'm subscribed so I can see I can see his thumbnails. So I'll see like whoever he has on, like the guests, like their faces be on like thing. And I saw Eliza Bleu's on his page, and then I saw, her on somebody else's, and I was like, oh, hey, that's the girl, the connection. Oh, that's the girl that was on Tim Pool. Oh, that's the
right.
And that's how people make connections.
And your style, like if people appreciate your point of view and your judge of character, like I'm sure it's possible that people had her on after they saw that I had her on. Like I was part of the pre-vetting process, because a lot of us just go, oh, they've done a bunch of shows of people I know, I'm sure she's fine and good to go. So that's why I feel responsible. I'm like, I had her on 4 times. I'm sure I was part of what made other people want to bring her on. So I feel responsible.
But you've taken responsibility for that. For what, like you're not like out here being like, oh, for whatever reason, everybody cares about her now. It's like, no, we all know the fucking reason, except you, for some reason, Tim Pool, are trying to skate around this very glaring reason. And the fact that everyone's like, a lot of his audience, or even he was like, no one cares about the story. No one cares about censorship on Twitter. I thought there was a whole thing going on Twitter files. Like I thought that was a thing that we were trying to fight against, that you, Tim, specifically, were trying to fight against. And for the fact of him just being like, oh, this is just a nothing burger.
Right.
Everybody's just making
Eliza
a big deal out of it.
Very much is taking advantage of like trending topics. That's where she's really thrived. It's like her backstory. She doesn't want that to be the focus. She kind of was thriving during the Twitter files, because she could be like, oh, now I can get ahead because this is trending. And now you see she was trying to do that again with the Andrew Tate stuff. Like, oh, Andrew Tate is trending. Let me insert myself so I can run through all the podcast circuits again and get invited to events and speak at things and win participation trophies. But then like, oh, she doesn't want to keep it about her. Don't ask me about my story. Oh, it's about the victims. It's about how it happens. Like, every question she's asked, she pivots away.
I don't get that part, Chrissy, where he's like saying about how he didn't even want that dude to do the article, because he's like, why? Like we should have gotten Tate, because name drop. Like we were doing all this stuff, and then all of a sudden we're going to this third tier chick, and it's like, well, didn't you have her on your show? Like, she's relevant? She's in the news. She's censoring people. And yet you don't want your guy to go and cover the story. Like this is, it comes off as so disingenuous, like, and so fake. Like you're like, exactly what's going on. You know why this guy wants to cover the story. And yet you like refuse to even like put the words out onto your platform that I helped platform a fucking bitch that's lying to everybody. Like, it's just insane. It's like, okay, you don't want to admit your fault. That's cool, Tim, but quit gaslighting everybody else, because we all know why she's trending. It's not because we're all obsessed with her because she's so pretty and, like we're all just jealous of her. Like, it's like, what? I don't know.
Yeah. Ashton from earlier. I remember when Tim was ranting about Eliza in his kitchen, calling her annoying, and now he's bringing her on for these stories. It's all fake.
Ashton, you're so right. Like, I mean, I just from everything I've
But
heard
you don't
about
have to
Tim,
like. I mean, you don't have to like everyone you've had on your show.
he's just so fake, though.
I mean,
He's so fake.
is there people I've had on who I find annoying? I don't know if I would say they were annoying. I would say there were episodes where I had a hard time like getting a flow going, and like there's people that you vibe with more and less vibe with more on others, but I wouldn't
I'm
say
sure I've annoyed you at times, Chrissy. That's okay.
no,
Everybody annoys
stop it.
everybody. It's like
Impossible. Not
whatever.
you. Not you, Nina.
At least I
Check,
simp hard.
check out the Blue Waffle public relations and waffles. Don't wait, come for the PR, stay for the Blue Waffle breakfast. Oh my god. Sounds gross. Delamar, both Venti and Quartering got hit by the November-December 2021 personal media rule change. Some with the rest. That rule is still in place. That's the story. Rest of it is just drama llama, and timelines are getting completely distorted.
Oh,
They were hit
so
by the
true.
November-December 2021 personal media rule change. Huh. Interesting. So just if you post something from another site, it's kind of a loophole that was taken advantage of.
Can I address something real quick?
Yes.
Ashton super chatted $1.99. Everyone wants to date Eliza Bleu, guys. It's so funny because Tim freaking tweeted that, and I was like, why is he acting like a 16-year-old girl? Like, I don't understand. Like, he's like, oh, everybody
Really?
wants to date me. I'm like, what?
Really?
Yeah, he tweeted like he's being so salty. He was like, oh, like at first he tweeted out, why is everyone
Maybe he's trying to be
obsessed with
funny,
me?
Frank thinks.
Yeah, he was like trying to be funny, and he's like, why is everyone
your
obsessed with me? And
microphone.
then he tweeted again, like, everyone wants to date me, and I'm like, why are you acting like a 16-year-old girl? Even though if you're trying to be funny, like this is such a like not the situation to like make that joke because everyone thinks you're an idiot.
It's got to be hard when a lot of people are giving you shit. Courtney, Tim complains almost every show about YouTube not showing his thumbnail and showing him as trending every night. Yeah, Eliza's been trending like just about every day. Ghost Crusaders, Nina, she is trending because we are getting paid to talk about her.
Where is this money? Like, I want my money.
I want my PR dollars.
What the fuck? Share my screen.
He is copying AOC with Everyone Wants to Date Me. Oh.
Yeah, I know. I was like, yeah, okay, AOC. This is it. Stop being obsessed with me. Everyone's trying to date me.
This was last night.
Yeah. Along with the string of other tweets.
Stop being obsessed with me. Everyone's trying. Oh, okay. Okay, he's trying to be funny.
Yeah, he's trying to be funny, but it's just like it's so lame. Like it's like, oh, it didn't land for me. I was like, oh, you're so lame, dude. Like, oh, I'm gonna act like a 16-year-old girl to try and like, you know, brush this away. Oh yeah, everyone wants to date me. I'm like AOC now.
Yeah, this is not a situation you can joke your way out of, unfortunately.
Yeah, after you go off on your fans, like, oh, fuck you then. Go fucking unsubscribe. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. It's like, brah. Like, what? Like, who treats their fans like that? That's crazy.
CJB, did you see Andrew Tate's video blasting Tim? What? No. Does that exist? Is that real?
Can't find it.
I wanted to play a snippet because I haven't actually watched this yet. This is the moment where apparently what you guys are saying there was like a meltdown on the show last night that happened.
He melted down.
There was at around hour 38 mark.
Yep.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna play a little.
He went off, man. I was like, what the fuck?
A little 1,000 watt little solar jackery, plugged it in to the freezer, and it ran that freezer for 16 hours.
That's it. I just bought the jackery. That's the one I got 3 days ago.
That's the one you got?
Yeah.
We got it.
It's pretty good.
Hell yeah.
We got to go to Super Chats. We're a little bit behind. So if you haven't already, would you kindly smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, share the show with your friends, become a
By the
member.
way, pause it for 1 second. The funniest part is like I always like laugh whenever people was like, I don't care about this, but I'm so fucking triggered that I'm gonna go off and fucking swear at everybody right now. And it's like, I don't care, I don't care. I just think it's really funny when people say that, which is what he's gonna do next. Go ahead.
Well, people were pressuring the chicks on the right to talk about the Eliza Bleu story, and they actually put out like an article or something being like they were kind of pissed and triggered that so many people were asking them to cover it, and they honestly just didn't care.
Mm-hmm.
So I can kind of understand being pissed that somebody wants you to talk about something you don't want to talk about. But chicks on the right, not involved at all, never platformed her. Like maybe they followed each other, but it's a different case than someone who's had her on.
Viva was the
show.
same way too. He was like, I'm really annoyed that I have to address this, but I guess I will. Like, and he like tweeted about it like the first day. It wasn't a big deal,
Yeah.
and then nobody asked about it again.
Want to support our work directly, you will not only get access to the uncensored members only shows that we have this huge library of, but we're having an uncensored show coming up tonight at about 11 p.m. You don't want to miss it. Should be a lot of fun. And we're launching this coffee shop. We got a crew that's coming in to do the planning work. They've apparently mapped out jets. All right.
Here we go.
Let's what do we got here? We'll try and get some good ones. Steven says, John, I'm friends with Rhonda Drake.
No.
Oh no.
Not my internet.
Daughter of Sonny Curtis. She has a venue in Franklin, North Carolina named after Sonny.
Would it work better if I played?
Up some Friday night. If I'm not sure what
Okay, Fryland Cabin's gonna try it from his internet, which is different than my internet for some reason, even though we're in the same room.
What?
Little solar jackery. Plugged it in to the freezer, and it ran that freezer for 16 hours.
That's it. I just bought the Jackery. That's the one I got 3 days ago.
That's the one you got?
Yeah.
we got
That's
it.
pretty good.
We got to go to Super Chats. We're a little bit behind. So if you haven't already, would you kindly smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, share the show with your friends, become a member at timcast.com if you want to support our work directly. You will not only get access to the uncensored members only shows that we have this huge library of, we're having an uncensored show coming up tonight at about 11 p.m. You don't want to miss it. Should be a lot of fun. And we're launching this coffee shop. We got a crew that's coming in to do the planning work. It's in together. We'll try and get some good ones. Steven says, John, I'm friends with Rhonda Drake.
I do actually, and I have really good coffee because I live in Mexico, so we have great coffee here.
Mexican coffee. Is that like coffee with tequila in it?
Ooh, I wish.
A Mexican coffee?
That'd be amazing.
Stepdaughter of Sonny Curtis. She has a venue in Franklin, Idaho. Realizing their views and commentary help boost the algorithm for old Timmy Boy. You don't like it, watch something else. Otherwise, you're clowning yourselves. Well, I appreciate the super chat and appreciate it. And then I put up a poll and I said, smash the like button if you don't trust Eliza Bleu. And 89% said I will like because I don't trust her. That means everybody who smashed the thumbs down trusts Eliza Bleu. All right. Well, that was an interesting, it's 13,000 votes. It's interesting to see that so many people came here to support her by giving us a thumbs down. Well, I can't say I'm surprised. A lot of people do support her. Scroats McGoat says, last night as a member, if Tim doesn't disavow Eliza tonight, get the out, Scroats McGoat. You can cancel right now and see you later. You will never wave money in my face and make me disavow anybody, especially someone I care so little about, Eliza Bleu. She's been on the show 2 times. If you're going to cancel because I won't do what you say, you shouldn't have been here in the first place. Bye-bye. Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. All right, what else do we got?
Oh my God, I never saw that.
Dude, he like went off on that one guy. It's like, what? Damn.
I do think I understand being annoyed and go, oh, I'm going to cancel over this. Like I've had people over the years be like, it is annoying when someone goes out of their way to be like, I'm unfollowing you or I'm unsubscribing. I know I've gotten annoyed at that in the past when I see people message about it.
Chrissy, it is annoying. I get the same thing. But the reason people are saying it is because he just sat there and didn't say anything forever. And then like when he did say something.
Come on, it's only 2 weeks.
And then when he did say something, finally, he's mouthing people off. It's like, what are you doing, Tim?
DJ Zeno says, unsubbed on members only after over a year. Here's $5 FU for, I'm pretty bummed. Thought you stood against censorship. Hope you change. See you later, buddy. Look, sad to see you go, but I will never cater to a mob. And that's it. End of story. Eliza Bleu is not important. She's not important to me. She's not a member of Congress. She doesn't enact policy. She is a low-tier internet personality that for some reason people are desperately obsessed with. And I literally don't care. So
for some reason. What is that reason, Tim? What is the reason? Please tell us. If you could like put the words out of why people are obsessed with her, then you'll get to the bottom of why people are fucking super chatting.
Or at least you could say, if it appears that people are just like, we all consume the same internet, right? You can say without putting your own personal opinion. It seems that people are concerned with A, B, D, and C.
For some reason, such a gaslighting thing
How
to
did I
do.
say that out of order?
I
Yeah,
felt
like
so
just like
gaslighted,
these are
man.
people's concerns. This is what I've read.
A nice day.
I gotta say this: if someone got banned off Twitter or any platform for a reason other than violating the terms of service, that's a big deal and should be taken up and will be if it happened with the Twitter administration or the administration of the social network. But the personal stuff it's innate. It's like, no offense, TMZ.
But this isn't personal.
TMZ garbage.
No, okay.
Personal. They weren't suspended for personal shit. They were suspended for posting public screenshots.
And you know what? Like, I will say this. I was annoyed about certain people. I'm not gonna name names because there's a lot of people doing it, but like they brought like the whole Cassandra's porn into it and stuff like that.
No, I don't think that's right to do.
I don't agree with any of that kind of shit. Like, I'm not interested in any of that. The censorship story is important. And if that's what he's referring to, he's absolutely right. Like, there's no reason to be posting Cassandra's porn pictures on
that's
the
not
fucking
okay.
threads about Eliza. It's
so
ridiculous.
Irrelevant. Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
It's like National Enquirer. I mean, if you like it, oh God. But there's a lot we can build.
Questioning you.
I don't care if people care about this stuff. They're allowed to. But like the idea that people are going to come here and threaten, like, I will cancel my membership because you're not talking about someone no one ever heard of. It's like, dude, I get that you know who she is. But you know what's funny about Jack Murphy and Eliza Bleu is that here's what happens. People ask questions about these personalities. And I know most people listening are like, I have no idea who these people are. And that's exactly it. We had about 40,000 peak concurrent viewers. We get, 300 to 500,000 video viewers plus 100,000 on the podcast, and then about 1 million across the clips. And the people who watch have no idea what the people in the chat are talking about when it comes to Eliza Bleu or Jack Murphy. In fact, John, do you know who Eliza Bleu is?
The only reason I knew is because I saw you guys talking about it one time.
One time we mentioned.
I never learned about her organically. No.
The PR firm.
What I think is going on, to be completely honest, is that the people who are claiming they hate her are actually probably a paid reputational firm to promote her.
Oh my
God.
God.
So that's why I brought this up last week.
Guys, put an F in the chat if you are part of a paid PR firm.
Well, I'm not putting an F in the chat because I have not fucking gotten paid, man. Fucking filing cabinet. Where's my check? Damn it.
And I don't know that
there are companies
saying we hate her. We're just being critical. Like, we're just.
I don't hate people easily. It's not like she's not on my hate radar. What's going on, Ashton?
I said,
hello. How's it going? I wasn't planning on doing this today, but then we started talking about all of this ridiculous. Honestly, again, I wouldn't care about like this drama. Again, when this all first came up, Brittany was showing me everything, and I was like, well, it's horrible. Like, like this is a little sketchy, but I'm gonna try to keep the benefit of the doubt. But then Brittany got banned, Camelot got banned. All these people started getting blocked. I'm like, well, that is pretty sketchy, but maybe she'll have a reasoning for it later. Maybe she needs to calm down or something. And then when I found out about her not even contacting the girls I put her in contact with, and then she's going on podcasts saying that she's advocating for these girls, that's when I'm like, okay, so this is getting kind of sketchy. I'm not a fan of this at all, because I feel like but it's like, why reach out to me for contacts if you're not going to even reach out to the girls,
Maybe she just wanted to say she had the information. I think she is like an information fact-finding genius, in that she just networks and gathers information and does everything she can to make herself look legitimate.
Well, it's interesting that like Tim just won't say, because like Tim's purposely, he knows what's happening. Like, he knows people are getting banned. He knows people are getting booted. He's purposely pretending like he doesn't know what's happening, and you can see that on his face. Like Tim does this thing where when he clearly knows something's up and he's trying to avoid saying something, he gets really antsy on camera, which is what he's doing here, and he's kind of melting down and freaking out. But the amount of times like Tim like has like, you know, said behind Eliza's back, "Oh, I think she's so annoying. I don't want her on again, blah blah." But now that it's back in the news cycle, she's the go-to person he's going to. Like he knows why Eliza's blowing up. He knows why she's important. He knows why people are on his show asking about her. Because it's like Nina said, he's the one who first promoted her. And even if he didn't necessarily like her, he's still having her on his show to talk about these victims. Well, I don't need the names of these victims. Obviously, privacy is very important. But what I want to see is what is Eliza exactly doing as a human trafficking advocate? Because I looked into it and we haven't really seen like anything. She like what money has she raised for shelters? What has she donated herself? What time and efforts has she committed to charity to helping these women? We haven't seen anything. We've just seen her go on podcasts and talking about these people.
Like, dude, Ashton, you're so right, because that's what I was like when she was talking about that whole humanity house thing or whatever. I'm like, where is this? Like, do we see any pictures? Do we see anything about this place? Where are the like, you know, where are these facilities or whatever that she's created? Like there's nothing. It's like, and then you see people like shout out to drunk 3PO, like he goes to fucking Mexico and, you know, helps build a house for the, you know, the kids there, and he's posting pictures on social media and he's like, you know, showing the receipts of what's going on with the house because people are funding this house. They're paying him to go and build this house, and he's showing the receipts like this is because of your donations, your hard work. This is what I'm doing. It's the same thing with Eliza. People are paying her this money, right? Because she keeps claiming that I'm not doing this for my own money. There's, you know, I don't have any money. I'm on, like, I don't have Wi-Fi. I'm on my fucking cell phone. I'm this, I'm that. I'm the victim. I'm as bad as everybody else here. You know, I'm just getting fucking money from you, but like no proof of anyone she's helped. Like, who has she helped? That's what I want to know.
Guys, if you're in here and you're a publicist, if you're here from Eliza Bleu PR firm, smash the like button and subscribe, please and thank you.
Smash the like button if you don't trust Eliza Bleu. And 89% said, I will like because I out Scroats Magoat. You can cancel right now and see you later. You will never wave money in my face and make me disavow anybody, especially someone I care so little about, Eliza Bleu. She's been on the show 2 times. If you're going to cancel because I won't do what you say, you shouldn't have been here in the first place. Bye-bye. Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out.
Can you imagine being so
All right, what else do we got? DJ Z.
Like that. Like that's so crazy to me that someone can just be like, I mean, he makes so much money.
He's obviously annoyed. He's annoyed, and when you're someone who streams every day, like your audience is going to catch you being annoyed, like catch you being all of the feelings. But it doesn't look great to say to a member like, see ya, I don't care.
Says unsubbed on members only after over a year. Here's $5 FU for, I'm pretty bummed. Thought you stood against censorship. Hope you change.
Why would he
See
read
you later.
the super chats that are going to piss him off?
Isn't that Cassandra's job? Like, who is putting these super chats on?
God, don't get me started. The Sasha Fairbanks. I can't stand that woman.
Well, like, because it used to be Lydia's job, right? Like, she was the one that was putting them. Like, I don't know who his new producer is, but like whoever vetted those super chats, man.
Scroats Magoat. If you hear this, Scroats, you're welcome here,
buddy. Look, sad to see you go, but I will never cater to a mob, and that's it. End of story. Eliza Bleu is not important. She's not important to me. She's not a member of Congress. She doesn't enact policy. She is a low-tier internet personality that for some reason...
Celebrities don't enact policy. Bill Gates doesn't enact policy. He wasn't a...
They wish they could.
He wasn't a voted-in person, but that doesn't mean they don't have influence and... change.
Here's the thing about
culture.
Tim wants to pretend he's a very serious journalist because he went to Occupy Wall Street before streaming was a really big thing. He did all these big important things with his career when he was with who was he with? Vice, blah 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 blah.
Okay. Well, he said he likes to talk to people. He
likes the drama because he benefits from it. He makes so much money off this drama, but he wants to pretend like he's a serious journalist. I mean, he has done very serious work in the past, but he has to admit, like, at the end of the day, he benefits from this drama. He's still making money
Yep.
off of it. So he wants to pretend like, oh, I don't like this drama. I don't care about it. Yes, you do. You're making money off it as we speak.
Mhm.
Here's the thing, Tim Pool, the amount of times when living in his house, the amount of times that he has randomly told guests, I'm rich. I'm super rich. Here, let me tip this waitress
What the
$100
fuck?
because I can. Like, he just does that. He loves to wave money in people's face
That's gross.
because he just
I mean, there's nothing wrong with tipping people a lot if you can afford it. I mean, I think that's fine to do.
No, but like what she's saying is different though. Like you could do that like on your own time and whatever, but to gloat about it and to randomly bring it up to people in your household, it's like that just speaks to your character. That means you're just a dick, like an egotistical dick. That's what that means. To me, anyways.
I mean, there's a way to do it. Like the way Anthony Cumia does it is pretty funny. Like a bar will be closing down and he'll just like wave $100 bill and he'll be like, let's keep this open. Like and then he'll buy everybody another round.
Yeah, let's buy
like,
another round. Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, dude, I cover those stories, Chrissy. Like, I have a Friday show where I cover good news stories. I cover stories like that all the time where like some rando goes into the bar and, gives a waitress a $3,000 tip and it makes the news because it's just like, makes their entire life, for that
Yeah.
month in one thing. It's a good thing to do. Not that it's not, but it's like when you're going around, just, pretending you're a good person, that's a different thing. When you're doing it for clout,
Yeah.
it's a different thing.
You
Most of
want
those
to know what
stories are
Tim's setup is?
anonymous.
This is what he does. The reason Tim has Ian on. By the way, no hate to Ian. I actually really enjoy spending time with Ian. Ian's a very nice person. Tim keeps Ian on because he knows he wants someone the chat will go after that's not him. The reason Tim has Luke on is because Luke is actually a much better journalist than Tim ever has been, and he has Luke do all the heavy work. Tim has these people around him to be his yes man so he can throw money at them, but he has a purpose for them so he doesn't have to do as much work and doesn't have to look as bad when things fall apart. That is why Tim doesn't have friends. Tim has yes men and people he can hire to be his friends.
That's kind of sad if that's true.
That's kind of, yeah. That's kind of what Adam said too, like in his manifesto about Tim.
Did you want to play more of that?
There's more.
Okay, but wait, there's more.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I fucking skipped.
Oh, it skipped. No, your internet is bad.
Ashton, are you going to play Hogwarts Legacy?
Yeah, I've debated whether or not to. The only thing is, I'm really into League of Legends now, and I'm kind of like,
what are you, Frost?
I love League of Legends so much. My boyfriend got me into it. I'm obsessed with it.
That's funny. I am going to be playing it later today.
Mark Wilkins.
I'm going to be installing it.
Chat.
It's going to be available in 1 minute 59 seconds, and I'm going to download the shit out of it.
EB name dropping, Wheezy, Sneezy, Hefty, Grumpy, Happy, Tape Dispenser, and Bob. Does Tape Dispenser have an attorney? It sounds like she was trafficked. Thank you, Mark Wilkins. Tomorrow led. Benefit of the doubt should be earned. Corey Cassell. An actual journalist could ask Eliza, are your former fame-chasing ambitions, pursuing celebrities as a groupie, something you now disavow? Does the pursuit of those values contribute to trafficking? Oh, that's a great question, Corey. That takes into account who she actually is as a person. Okay. Should we play a little more of this?
And off Twitter or any platform for a reason other than violating the terms of service, that's a big deal and should be taken up and will be if it happened with the Twitter administration or the administration of the social network. But the personal stuff it's like, no offense, TMZ garbage. It's like National Enquirer. I mean, if you like it, oh God. But there's a lot we can build.
I don't care if people care about this stuff. They're allowed to. But like the idea that people are going to come here and threaten, like, I will cancel my membership because you're not talking about someone no one ever heard of. It's like, dude, I get that you know who she is. But you know what's funny about Jack Murphy and Eliza Bleu is that here's what happens. People ask questions about these personalities. And I know most people listening are like, I have no idea who these people are. And that's exactly
Jack
it.
Murphy was his best friend.
We had about 40,000.
It's also like, of course people have, that's downplaying your own significance. Of course people have, there's people who will have just heard about them because they were on your show.
Yep. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like, if there is a PR firm, you're the leader of it because you're the one that fucking made her famous. Nobody knew who she was.
Peak concurrent viewers. We get, 300 to 500,000 video viewers plus 100,000 on the podcast, and then about 1 million across the clips. And the people who watch have no idea what the people in the chat are talking about when it comes to Eliza Bleu or Jack Murphy. In fact, John, do you know who Eliza Bleu is?
Was his best
The only reason I
friend
knew
on
is
the
because I
show,
saw
like,
you
once
guys
a
talking
week.
about it one time.
I think
we
Luke
talked-
if
Radowski
1 million
specifically
people
looked at Tim and was like, yo, you gotta stop having Jack Murphy on the show. He's a snooze, like he's a buzzkill. Stop having him on the show. And Tim's like, no, everyone loves Jack Murphy. And now he's pretending like he doesn't even know who Jack Murphy is. The dude's
Like,
so
who is
fake.
this Jack Murphy guy? No one knew who he was. Dude, if anyone knew who he was because it was your show, I knew who Jack Murphy was because he was on this show. The one time I remember that Jack Murphy got into it with Tim Pool about that whole, because Tim lives on a farm thing or whatever, and it was in the middle of the pandemic, and Jack Murphy was like, well, I got kids, so I got to do what I got to do, and I got to get vaccinated and whatever. And Tim went off and was like, then you're the problem. Do you guys remember that? That's when I found out who Jack Murphy was. And then everybody was on Jack Murphy's side at that, on that debate. And then after that, that whole thing happened with Sydney, and I was like, oh, isn't that the guy that was on Tim Pool? Everybody just knew him from Tim Pool's show. Well, most people, unless you were in the
Jack
liminal
Murphy
order.
would come over to the house to just hang out, not even be on the show. When I was there, Jack Murphy would just be there to hang out. That is he was almost like Tim's buddy old pal. Jack Murphy was being considered to be a permanent guest, and Luke was telling Tim, yo, I don't know how I feel about this guy. He seems kind of sketch. And Tim's like, don't tell me what to do. And now he's pretending he doesn't know who Jack Murphy is.
It's so disingenuous.
It's
This is why
strange,
people don't like
it's
Tim
strange
Pool.
to point out how many views all of your stuff gets, but at the same time say no one's heard of them. It's like, okay, are you getting 1 million views across all of your stuff, or has no one heard of the guests?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Is there something else that specifically you were waiting to play, or just
there's a lot,
okay?
There's 5 more minutes.
Okay.
He gets upset again.
I never learned about her organically. No.
So what I think is going on, to be completely honest, is that the people who are claiming they hate her are actually probably a paid reputational firm to promote her. So that's why I brought this up last week. There are companies you can hire that will spam the internet to generate buzz and attention for you. There's no such thing as bad press. Mm-hmm. So when I see people flooding our comments and saying things that aren't true, I'm canceling my membership, I can see who's canceling their memberships. I can literally, I own the website. And this past week, we have gained slightly more members than we normally gain.
I mean, it's your money, right?
Yeah, but with the amount of subscriptions he must have, there's no way that he's personally doing that with how much work he does in a day. He probably hires someone to do it for him, and even they're not going to check every username.
No, he's not using. Mm-hmm. He's not talking about specific names, but he can probably see if overall subs are down.
Well, he posted about it on Twitter. Did you see that? He posted his whole graph and everything.
Oh, okay. Of the followers.
Yeah.
He's pulling a birdie. He's pulling a 2018 birdie is what he's doing. On Twitter.
I don't understand that reference.
I was a very depressed person in 2018 and 2019, and he's basically showing his own self-sabotage is what he's doing. That's why I call it birdie.
Uh-huh. This is
probably because the guests we had on last week or whatever, and whatever. Jack Posobiec, maybe he's a great personality, and so we gain several hundred per week, and we gain a little bit more than that on average, with people coming in claiming that.
Okay, so there's him saying that tracking is up.
Yeah, and let me zoom out here so you can kind of see the whole graph.
PR. Don't believe AstroTurf PR campaigns. So subs are up. Okay.
That's what he's claiming.
When I was doing editing for these people, right? Because I would, fall around cameras and stuff. This is when I was trying to do more work behind the scenes because I realized I wasn't the best with a microphone myself. I was just trying to focus on editing work because that's
where my talents are better used. But I just remember like just kind of hanging out, getting some editing work done, and he would be in the kitchen complaining about his own guests. And then like he would have these really intelligent people who have a lot of really interesting information to share, and he would take them out to dinner and he wouldn't even pay attention to them, and then he'd have them on his show, and like it was always hard to get certain clips and whatnot because he wouldn't let his own guests talk. And that's the problem with him. And you can always tell who's actually friends with Tim Pool or who he's trying to like, you know, get some like good in with, because he's trying to like, you know, they might have like more I guess, you know, popularity or more fame than him or more money than him. If he lets them talk, if he's letting his guests talk, that's because he wants something from them. If he's just talking over his guests, he has no respect for them, doesn't care they're there. He's just having that show that night because he has to have a show and wants the algorithm to keep working in his favor.
Okay, let's keep playing.
Bringing up a personality no one's ever heard of makes her instantly famous to even the likes of, you know, 9-time Grammy nominee John Rich, who's not heard of her. Mm-hmm. That's the point. They want us to talk about her because they're being paid to generate controversy. They either want to. That's why it doesn't matter if we say anything good or bad.
Yeah.
If we say, look, we're doing the story, Shane Cashman's. Nope, it's bad. Mm-hmm. We say, okay, we're not going to talk. Oh no, now it's bad. I think it's a PR campaign.
No.
In order, I think people are being paid to promote her.
You know what? I guess if you say it's a PR campaign, that way you can distance yourself from it. Like, it's not my internet peers, it's not my acquaintances, it's not people that you know or have met or have worked with that are covering it. It's PR. It's like faceless, nameless bots. That way you distance yourself from the people that are covering it. So it's like you don't have to cover it because your peers are covering it. It's other low level people. It's not important enough. It's not on the caliber that it would need to be for him. Yeah. I guess like we're all low level. I'm fine being low level.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine being low level too, but he's just a disingenuous dick because that's not what this is about. Most of these
people are. Like, I'm gonna tell you right now that like when I tell people I quote unquote left a cult, it is basically this, like this whole clout chasing, moral high ground, political high ground. None of these people are actually who they say they are. And that's the thing is, like, I feel like there's this constant pressure to try to be something you're not. And eventually all of these people are going to crack just like I did because they're not being true to themselves and trying to play like this whole public image. It's not real. It's a freaking cult. It's a clout chasing, grifting cult. And I'm so glad I got my butt kicked publicly when I was 22, 23 years old, or else I'd be in my freaking 30s and 40s like Mr. Timmy Pool here, still trying to grab at that non-existent moral high ground. Like, it's so pathetic.
That's right. Okay. She's never been more famous because of this.
Exactly.
And so I'll be completely honest with the Shane Cashman story. I told Shane Cashman I didn't want him to do the story because he went from profiling Ye to Carrie Lake and now to a low mid-tier internet personality over, you know, that I just think the next, he was supposed to be interviewing Andrew Tate. We reached out to Tate. As Shane mentioned, this may kill the story. And Tate said yes. And so we were like, this is great. Shane writes tremendous work. I said, I don't think he should do it because clearly they're trying to promote Eliza Bleu. That's what this whole thing is about. She's never been more famous. Yeah. And I think it's beneath him. But he said, look, man, I really, really want to dig in and do the story. It's 80,000 words, it's massive.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, look, man, you do your thing. I'm not going to tell you what you can or can't write. I trust you. At Timcast, we don't tell people they have to say something. They can't say things. Someone wants to post offensive memes on social media. I'm not going to fire him over it. Shane comes to me and says, "Is this story I got to tell?" I say, "You do your thing." But I'm telling everybody who's who's listening and doesn't know who this is, I will just explain. Right now, there's a massive campaign from high-profile personalities to promote and make Eliza Bleu famous. She has stated she wants to be famous, even to Shane Cashman, and so they're coming and spamming us with comments to force us to talk about her like we are right now to make her more famous. Yep. It's working. And I was like, let's not go anywhere near this because someone's getting paid. It's a PR stunt and it's working.
You're
there
getting
you go, guys.
paid.
I've addressed it. Have a nice day. And then all of these other people who I know, like who have been members of this channel are
poor
saying like,
Shane, this
why
is
won't you get on
bullshit.
board? Bro, you are walking right into a PR game. I talked about how they do this. They're called reputation management firms. You go to them and you say, how much money to make me a star? And they'll say, we're going to do a two-front thing. We're going to say you're fighting a good fight, but you got controversy. That way we get you on both fronts. People will defend you. People will oppose you. And this will result in high-profile outlets. The Daily Beast will write about you. You're going to get a bunch of, grifter channels are going to start talking about you, drama channels, big YouTubers. We will make you famous, and it'll cost you $100,000. And there you go.
Yeah.
Congratulations, everybody. You did exactly what the money paid for.
Who's
and
paying
here we are addressing.
$100,000? Is it Eliza paying $100,000 to reputation management firms to make
That's
her
what
famous?
he's claiming. Miss,
So
I
she
have
can't
no
afford
money.
She
I
can't
have no
afford
internet.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
She can't afford Wi-Fi. She supposedly the only coat she has that's warm is her Tesla coat, but she has $100,000 to pay reputation management, or her parents have $100,000 to pay reputation management companies to make her famous in a way that makes her look like a liar.
Mm-hmm.
Is that really worth it? Who are
and
these
all
reputation
this over some
companies?
random tweet from Brittany Venti to ask, like, very nicely to clarify something. It's
Right?
like, no, let me pay
like,
$100,000.
you're telling me Venti's the last fucking person who would take money to you know what I mean? To just like she would just do it for free. Like, she clearly did it for free. Gadook is a reputation management company. Anyone heard of Gadook? WebbyMax,
Never heard of it.
Net Reputation, Podium, REQ, SEO Image. Wow.
Someone just
Internet
pointed out a really
Reputation.
good point in the chat. He'll talk about Hassan Piker drama, but he won't talk about Eliza or Jack Murphy.
Mm-hmm.
Has he had Hassan on? I think
no,
he
but he's
has.
like dedicated full streams to talking about Hassan Piker.
Yeah.
I still don't even know who he is.
Me neither.
Young
He's like
Turks
some Twitch
guy.
streamer, I guess.
I keep hearing his name, and then I'm like, all
What,
right.
Hassan Piker? He's like the Young Turk guy, nephew or whatever. He's
Okay.
he's like a Twitch streamer now, and he had a show with the E3 guy, H3 Ethan, whatever. They had a show together for a bit. I don't know if they're still
Like,
doing
so this is really what's possible. So Eliza's going to crush it for 2 years, rise to the ranks of podcasting fame, literally get to, I would say, other than Joe Rogan, the top podcast you could do. Tim's, Malice, Hotep Jesus is pretty big too. So she's going to do all that and be crushing it and be speaking at events and now winning an award. And you're telling me she's going to get her parents to spend $100,000 to a reputation management firm to crush all that just so she can be going from kind of famous to now negatively infamous for being a liar? That doesn't make sense. Nobody would do that. You would coast along. You'd be like, let me keep going on this grift as long as I can. Why would she poke holes in her own story for her own benefit for more internet clicks? Because I'm really trying to see how this would go.
No, because this is untrue, Chrissy, and that's why it's such a bullshit gaslighting lie.
But I just think it's important to follow that line of thought to its
because it
natural
makes no
conclusion.
sense, and that's what she does too, right? And then she'll go like, well, why would I lie about this? And if I was to lie, like, what would I gain out of it? Like, it's just like, it's one of those things that he is a tactic. It's a tactic to avoid the situation, just like she's doing to avoid every question that comes up about human trafficking.
Why would she want even like a friendly journalist like Shane Cashman? Why would she want someone to come to her house and interview her on the hard details that she's been avoiding from everybody? She doesn't want somebody in person asking her questions. Like, why would she embrace that and celebrate that after all of these other interviews where she gets triggered and won't answer certain questions or go, how dare you bring a survivor on and ask her to relive her trauma? But like suddenly when it's a Timcast journalist, she's okay having them prod. It's like, no, now that everybody's seeing what a fraud she is, her only saving grace is to be like, yes, welcome. You can stay in the barn.
What I don't understand is, right, if she is a human trafficking advocate, she must have told her story over and over and over again by now. And I know it's very traumatic to tell your story, but if that's going to be your whole career, your whole way of helping survivors is to tell your story. So why is she avoiding telling her story now?
Because
wouldn't you want to encourage other women to name their traffickers so that we
Yes.
can all avoid these people.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. I'm going to blow through. Unless there was more on that video, Frank, that you wanted to play.
Cover it later.
Okay.
Chrissy,
Okay.
girl, I'm gonna bounce. So you
Okay,
can blow
Nina.
through these, and I love you.
Love you too, Nina.
Hashtag free Brittany Venti. I ain't
Is
part
she
of
still
no
not back
PR.
on?
She's still locked out.
She's
God.
still locked out. Shout out to her though. Everybody, check out Brittany's podcast. Okay, she does great content. Everybody, just go and subscribe to Brittany. And I'm gonna be playing the game Who Shall Not Be Named soon. So come check me out later. Bye,
Ooh.
everybody.
Love you, Nina.
Bye. Love you
Okay.
too.
Bye, Nina. You the best. Okay. Evil Dead. Basically comes down to the point. Jeremy has more estrogen than Chrissy. Tim doesn't want to drama. I remember Chris and Craig featured more. Okay, some of that made sense, but thank you for the super chat. Ministry of Wrong Thing, thanks for the super chat. Even if Tim's Russian PR bots conspiracy theory was correct, it would still be a story worth his time because people would still be getting censored either way. So Tim's own BS story still has him ignoring censorship. And right, wouldn't you want a story involving a lot of like mass bots? I mean, isn't that why people cared about the Twitter files? Because it involved censorship and like that's why people cared about basically the whole when people were trying to say like Trump was working with the Russians, like that all fell apart and that was based on a lie and that's newsworthy.
Well, I don't understand is so I know Eliza Bleu is blocking a lot of people on Twitter, right, to avoid telling her story. Why is Cassandra Fairbanks blocking Brittany and all these different people as well? I know I have my
I
own
don't
story of
know.
Cassandra Fairbanks, but I think the whole excuse for her saying, "Oh, Eliza Bleu, she's a victim and it's not fair to Eliza Bleu," to me that's kind of BS because when I tried coming out about being assaulted in 2018, Cassandra Fairbanks laughed at me and she like started a bunch of rumors around me within like these little social groups within political media. So I just don't understand like where does like the like where does the group it's very cliquey in political media, Christy. I don't know if you've noticed that yet, but it's very cliquey in it. It's very
Oh yeah.
but I just think it's a little ridiculous. And also Cassandra Fairbanks, didn't she get Kathy Zhu booted off Twitter for claiming pictures of her were
That's what I heard and I
underage?
don't remember
Yeah.
who Kathy Zhu is, but I have heard people mention that. Okay, not relevant. Participating in internet drama and then blaming people for internet drama is the most internet drama thing you can do. WMMA scene, thanks for the super chat. If YouTube told him to, Tim would disavow his own mom.
By the
Oh,
way, YouTube does not like it's not that they don't like Tim Pool because they send him stuff all the time for free. They send him like gift packages and like thank you
really?
cards and stuff.
Like
Yeah,
what
this
kind
idea
of
that
gifts?
Tim is being censored or like because I still get notifications for Tim even when I'm not following him. I still see him pop up on my page even though I don't follow him anymore. And YouTube as a company sends him little gift packages, little care packages, thank you notes for being such a great YouTube content creator.
Mhm.
So, and he knows people at YouTube. So this idea that he is somehow being attacked or he's one of the people who's being censored is absolute BS. I have seen the
I don't
care
think Tim
packages
is
in the
saying
mail, Chrissy.
I don't think he said that he's being censored.
He complains about being censored all the time. He in almost every stream he goes, "I'm being taken down by big tech. They won't want you to see this message. They're going to delete this after I sign off. Blah 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 blah." And that's a very common tactic, especially amongst political YouTubers, because they want their audience to feel like if you can make your audience feel like that they're under attack and that you're the only safe person to sort of go to about certain information, that's a very common tactic from political YouTubers is to make your followers feel like that you have all of this information that can get them banned because it's such exclusive information. It's a very popular political YouTuber pundit thing
Yes,
to say.
this is a good time to let everyone know that I am being attacked. Subscribe and share right now.
Good job. My manager would have loved you.
Ghost Crusaders. Chrissy, this was a glimpse into the real Tim. This is how he acts, according to Adam Krigler and his sister Lisa Poole. Whoa. Ashton, hey, it's you. The amount of times I randomly heard Tim say I'm rich to people he had over. I'm like, okay. Hey, I hope I'm rich enough to give people gigantic tips one day.
But you be nice about it though. You're not a dickhead like he is. Like he's so
Deranged
in your face.
Lunatic. Good morning, Chrissy and Nina. Thank you, Lunatic. Atlas Gaming. I was Tim's club member for 14 months, canceled and unsubbed yesterday when he accused us of being paid bots. Yeah, that does kind of hurt to hear. Not gonna lie. Russell Hall. Someone combined Tim Pool memes to give him a Jack Murphy beard while he shows his wrinkle wafer twerking in a wrinkle wafer. Thank you, Russell. Dylan Jones. I unsubscribed from Tim Cats a month ago because he was disrespecting on his fans constantly. Something changed since the Adam thing happened. Huh. Ghost Crusaders. Chrissy, he mentioned you having Jeremy and Brittany on your show, and Jeremy saying, I give Tim till tomorrow night to address this. So he knows everything. He's being a little bit. I don't know that he's watching I just don't think he has time to watch everything I do, because I don't know what broadcast he would be referring to. Like, did I have Jeremy and Brittany on a show recently? Did me and Brittany maybe go on his show?
I think you were on Anna's.
Yes, it was Anna's broadcast, and she had me and Venti and Quartering on. No, I didn't say anything about him, but if he has somebody close to him going, all these people are talking shit, I can see how, we'd all be lumped in together. Interesting. Russell Hall. Ian is obviously a very special person. I like Ian. Adam Choit. Eliza has no official website. Sketchy. Nothing showing her work, how others can help, or testimonials. Just as a podcast site, not updated in forever. Yeah, good point. Why wouldn't you be doing everything to make yourself look legitimate? Wombat. We were Tim Frostbitten. Peace. Keep up the great work, ladies. Thank you. Russell Hall. Ashton saying she's debating whether to play Hogwarts is like me looking at Alexandra Daddario bent over a table naked and wondering what to do. Nick V and MZ. Pretty sure this has something to do with Cass. Yeah, I could understand if you're really good friends with somebody, not wanting it to be covered. Outlaw 2, Cassandra Bondage is brought up because she lied about it being minor to get it removed. The same censorship that Eliza is doing. Use Twitter to censor what makes you look bad.
And that was back in like 2019 too. So that was before Elon Musk was in charge.
Okay. Mejo. Tim Pool didn't just become that way today. Caligula. Why is it always male genitalia names that trigger people, both with Murphy and with Tim? CJB, he posted a graph without consent. Tim lost 10K on YouTube. Oh, without context, not consent. Interesting. Okay, David Murdoch. I need this PR firm for Drag the Dead. No, wait, maybe I should throw in some PR bots with the zombies. I did just add a spy balloon. What's up, Young Pei Chang? Thanks for the super chat. It has never been easier to mistake anyone whose content you enjoy as being a member of your in-group. It's never been easier to mistake anyone. I guess so, yeah. Russell Hall. Tim thinks his entire audience is as dim as CNN's. I don't know. I think my audience is smarter than me most of the time. R. James, I bet Eliza's PR team paid Tim and he's projecting. Ooh.
Hey, Chrissy, really quick question. Have you had Martina Marcota on the show yet?
Yes, a long time ago. A couple years ago. Might have been in 2020 or 2021. Because God, I knew her years back. She was hired to do like burlesque dance on this comedy show that I did at the Stand. I was many years, might have been 20.
She actually designed her own comic book, and she's actually very creative, very intelligent, and she's also someone who got highly screwed over by conservative punditry as well.
Yeah, she was canceled from the New York City burlesque scene, basically, and I had her on to talk about like her cancel story.
She's really awesome too. She's really funny. She's smart. She's creative. But she got screwed over pretty hard too when she went into punditry. She had a lot of she actually thought of a lot of the ideas that are pretty. So she actually is the one who thought of conservatism as the new counterculture. and no one credited her for that one. She basically got that stolen from her. A lot of her ideas were actually stolen from her, and a lot of people, I think, badmouthed her wrongfully. I think she'd be a really cool person to have on the show again
Yeah,
if
I
you
heard
consider it.
Gavin McInnes saying that. He was the first person I heard saying conservatism is the new counterculture. I know she was hanging out with him in her like MAGA years. Joe, unless Eliza Blue's video is fake, I don't appreciate Tim Pool milking the story and gaslighting people. Russell Hall. Okay, this is making sense now. Tim is actually diving on a grenade by not talking about Eliza Blue to protect his audience from being used by her for clout. All right, James. The PR claim is the most disingenuous framing. It's sophistry to make fools look the other way. Tim is protecting Twitter and Eliza while insulting fans. Yeah, you can't. And then he also says he doesn't blame people for caring about it. Ministry of Wrongthink. If your PR firm tells you promoting community elected child consent will be good for your career, it's time to get a new PR firm. Russell Hall, we all know what Eliza's whole career has been about. Haha, he spelled it whole. Courtney, thanks for the super chat. Olivia Palermo, the city. Her father did a similar PR move to Tim's theory. This just isn't EB's move. My old friend and roommate hired a New York firm to do the same. It never paid off for her. T has lost it. Mood Lion. I'm just saying, like, why would Eliza hire a PR firm when she already like looked very good in the media and she was already making moves, getting ahead in the podcasting world, doing appearances? Like, why would she hire a firm to make her look bad? It just doesn't make sense. Mood Lion, it's starting to sound like Tim was paid to promote Eliza. Then at least his theory would make sense from his perspective. I wonder if he's just trying to not. It's clear he's wanting to move on from it. Rodolfo, you should interview Lara Logan. She was on 60 Minutes. She was a 60 Minutes reporter raped in Egypt, and her fellow journalists excused it because they were just too excited. Laura Logan, that sounds terrible. Ray Ancap, being 6'2" and long hair. What has this world come to that people take seriously Tim Pool, Baldwin under 6 feet? Okay, that's heightist, Ray. Mark Wilkins, if she's so poor, how is she going to afford to sue everyone? Lawyers are expensive and really great people. Good question. Yeah, if she has all this money to hire a PR firm, then maybe she does have money to sue people, or maybe she's just gonna get it from daddy. John Thomas, Ian is connected to Minds. Minds is hosting an event in Austin, and Eliza will be on a panel. Carrie mentioned it on her show and is involved. Yeah, I think Carrie's supposed to host that event.
Well, so Eliza Blue's father, everyone's saying he's a senator. I looked him up. I know the article that I read on Eliza Blue's father said that he was a farmer and unsuccessfully ran, which means he never actually was in office. But did I read that wrong, or what exactly is the story with Eliza Blue's family?
Congressman or something?
He ran for office but didn't win,
something.
apparently.
I don't know. I feel like I've talked about it so many times. I should just write everything down.
General Assembly, yeah.
General Assembly.
Officially, and he ran for other things.
But ran for other things. Did he win for General Assembly, or just ran?
He was representative for 12 years.
He was representative for 12 years.
Oh wow. Okay.
He did a little thing. He did some gentle politics. Interesting. Well, we'll see what happens. That's the gossip, is that apparently she's coming out to sue everybody who ever did a video about her. Okay, some people think he's a low-level guy in the area. No one special. I don't know. I think to be running or in any office is kind of a big deal. He dabbled in politics. Member of the Rock Island County Board and was a Republican member of the Illinois General Assembly for a single term from 2011 to 2013. Okay, so he dabbled. Solarth, Tim, the best, most trustworthy journalist, claims without any evidence that it's all a PR stunt. Right. I mean, if I thought it was a PR stunt, I would look into who's getting paid, what PR company this is. Okay. Anyway, love you guys. Thanks for tuning in to Mayor in the Morning. I will be on, I think, Welsh Republic's show at 3:00, and then join us back here at 10 p.m. Eastern. I will have the Steel Toe guys, Aaron and April, on the show. So we will see you back here then. Ashton, thank you so much for joining me. You're a
Thanks for
delight.
having me on. I love you, man.
Love you, man. Thank you to the chat. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.